Hello and welcome to today's video. My name is Elle of Elsewhere and I do reviews of books, video games, movies, and TV. If you are new here, it's great to see you. Why not see about subscribing? If you're a returning subscriber or viewer, it's great to see you too. How's it going? Today's video is about the video game Oxenfree, in which there's spooky radio weirdness with rocks. So hence the shirt I'm wearing, the first social media. It's a ham radio, which technically radio was the first social media. So Oxenfree is a narratively driven video game from 2016. It just got a sequel back in July of this year, which is called Oxenfree 2 Lost Signals, which I will also be covering on the channel. The game takes place on Edwards Island, which, as I said, has some spooky radio weirdness with rocks. Yeah. Please do be very mindful of spoilers. We will be going in depth in this video today, so don't say I didn't warn you. And I'll see you at the end of the video with my final thoughts.
Gonna take a little magic trip to Cupcake Town.
All the Oxenfree.
It used to be a military base. Well, it used to be a ranching thing, then it was turned into an army thing, then it became a bird thing and a museum or whatever. Around Christmas time, this little breakfast place used to sell these amazing polar bear sugar cookies. Man, those were good. And then one year they changed the formula or whatever and ruined it.
Oxenfree is a game by Night School, which is owned by its parent company, Netflix. It won the Independent Games Festival Award for Excellence in Visual Art in 2016 and was nominated for several other awards that same year. Night School started out as a very small company on October 1st, 2014 by cousins Sean Crankle and Adam Hines, who were developers for Disney Interactive Studios and Telltale Games respectively. Notable members included Bryant Cannon, the lead engineer, Heather Gross, the lead artist, Andrew Warman, also known as Scientific, the composer and sound designer, and Sean and Adam themselves. For more information on the creators and their development of the game, I highly recommend you check out the Skybound YouTube channel. There are a few videos on there that I found helpful while researching further into the game. Oxenfree is a coming-of-age adventure game which has elements of mystery and the supernatural. It was released originally on PC and Xbox One on January 15th, 2016. Nowadays you can play it on basically any device, even iOS and Android. For the best experience on mobile, I recommend using headphones. For the best experience on any device, I also recommend ensuring subtitles are on. Sometimes in the game, dialogue can be garbled, so it's best to be able to also read what's going on. The game's title is in reference to Ollie Ollie Oxenfree, which is used in children's games such as hide and seek. Those who were seeking would call this to signal to those who were hiding that it was safe to come out without losing the game. It could also signal the end of the game entirely. It's thought to have originally come from all ye, outs in free. The music in the game is by the composer Scientific, who seamlessly blends both vintage analog tape recorders and digital sound to make a truly incredible soundtrack. He even used cassette decks and reel-to-reel tape to give it an old-school feel that somehow still manages to be fresh. He incorporated Morse code into Beacon Beach, and there are Easter eggs to find if certain tracks are reversed, sped up, pitch changed, etc. I listened to the soundtrack quite often during this entire project. It honestly hasn't gotten old at all. If anything, it has greatly enhanced the process. The visuals are stunning, as they combine 2D elements with 3D elements in a gorgeous watercolor-esque style. The inspiration for the setting is the Pacific Northwest, off the coast of Oregon and Washington, and the art style really makes you feel like a part of the landscape. Heather Gross stated that she also found inspiration from Bambi's lead artist Tyrus Wong. She loved that the art of Bambi was able to convey both an innocence and a coming of age, a realization that the world isn't all great. Side note, I just love the area around Portland and Tillamook, Oregon. I went there back in 2019 and it's just a gorgeous place. I highly recommend everyone go to that area at least once in their life. You can see the oceans and mountains within about an hour of Portland. It's just incredible. I can see where she drew her inspiration. The camera feels floaty when at rest. In other words, when the character isn't moving, the camera still is. It's so stylistic and it lends to both the relative innocence of adolescence and the overall chaotic feel of the night itself. The gameplay is quite simple. The only quote-unquote challenging bits are going to be the dialogue options, which will affect how the story and character relationships progress. There is a walk and talk mechanic, meaning that dialogue will continue without cutscenes, so there is no break in the flow of gameplay. This consequently makes playtime shorter, but it's worth the trade-off if you want to see the game's multiple endings. You're going to want to see the game's multiple endings. There's a lot more focus on character relationships because they are all affected by the player's choices. That will change some dialogue options and can affect the overall ending of the story. Here is a brief description of the characters. Alex, voiced by Erin Yvette, the protagonist and player character. She is sarcastic with a quick wit. Whether or not she is nice or rude to other characters is mostly up to the player's choice. Her hair is dyed a blue-green color, and she wears a red jacket which belonged to her brother Michael, who passed away a year and a half prior to the events of the game. She lives in the town of Camino, Oregon, and grew up with her brother, parents, and best friend Ren. After Michael died, her parents divorced, and her mother remarried the father of another character, Jonas. Jonas, voiced by Gavin Hammond, is Alex's new stepbrother. He meets her the very day the game takes place, so things are somewhat awkward at first between them. His mother died prior to the story's events, which was why his father married Alex's mother. Ren, voiced by Aaron Kubin, is Alex's best friend since childhood. He's very excitable and intelligent. He's also a stoner musician playing bass for a band called the Red-Headed Bedwetters. Clarissa, voiced by Avital Ash, hopefully I said that right, Avital Ash, used to date Alex's brother Michael prior to his death and blames Alex for Michael's demise. She is a popular girl in school. Her best friend Nona seems to look up to her. Nona, voiced by Brittany Johnson, is Clarissa's best friend and potential love interest to Ren and Jonas. She enjoys ballet and generally has a calm demeanor. We'll get into other characters as the story progresses. Bear in mind that this is just one playthrough of Oxenfree that I'll be narrating, and that the story is playable in many different ways. As for the story itself, you play as Alex, a teenager who is on the last ferry of the night to Edwards Island. With her is her friend Ren and her new stepbrother, Jonas. This is the first time Alex and Jonas have met one another, their parents having just gotten married. Ren and Alex have been friends since childhood. They are going to meet up with two other people, Clarissa and Nona, to drink beer by a bonfire on the beach and explore the island. It's a tradition amongst the high schoolers of Camino, Oregon, where the teenagers live. When they first arrive on Edwards Island, there isn't much to see. The Edwards Island sign.
When the flag is flying, we are funning.
I think it's supposed to say running.
A couple of shops.
It's kind of kitschy, right? It's kind of kitschy.
Yeah, it's like a quiche.
A lone car.
If nobody lives here and the stores are all closed, whose car is this?
Oh, there's always that one lonely car in every parking lot.
When they go further into town, they see a giant propeller and a guidepost for the radio tour. The frequency for the guide is 102.3. The radio guide informs them that this propeller belonged to the USS Kanaloa.
Named after the Hawaiian god of the sea, the USS Kanaloa was launched on January 15, 1941, and commissioned into service at the end of that year
I've never
under the
heard of
command
this
of
before.
Lieutenant James
Kind
Earl
of creepy
Flatman.
in a way, right?
On October
Yeah.
28,
I hate thinking about it.
it was sunk
It reminds
by
me of those
Japanese
scenes in movies where the
submarine
sailors have to seal somebody up to drown or else the flooding will take the whole
and
ship, you know?
remains to this
Yeah, no,
day
I always thought
the
submarine duty was like the
casualty
worst
in
possible
American
war
waters.
assignment.
On the way to meet up with their other friends, Ren tells them all that the island used to be a military base and that the only permanent resident, Maggie Adler, has recently died. He tells them about the Weirdo Caves.
So, to summarize, we are not allowed here after dark. The town is shut down, and we, the Camino High junior class, have come to commit improper acts. And the other thing is the Weirdo Caves.
Weirdo caves?
The whole reason Alex brought her radio is because when you go to it's like the front,
The mouth?
the mouth of this particular cave, you can sometimes pick up frequencies to stations that don't exist.
They meet up with Nona, Ren's apparent crush, and Clarissa, Nona's best friend. There is tension almost immediately between Clarissa and Alex, no matter the dialogue option the player chooses. Clarissa is miffed that Alex is there with her new stepbrother, and it really shows.
This is like friggin' Candyland right now.
Hang out on the beach, talk for a bit, then play Truth or Slap.
This is better than Truth or Dare because nobody ends up licking somebody's butthole. You get asked a question. You have to tell the truth, but if somebody can prove that you lied, the accuser gets to slap you. It's a good, getting to know somebody game.
How can you prove that somebody lied?
Hearsay, rumor, conjecture, the usual.
Clarissa's turn now.
Alex, you got a new brother. Pretty exciting. I'm sure Jonas is excited, or maybe excited isn't the right word. Maybe a little overwhelmed with just everything, you know? Unsure. It's a lot to take in and adjust to.
Is there like a question coming or what?
I'm just saying what Jonas is already thinking. That statistics show if you get divorced once, you're probably gonna get divorced again. And the fact is, your mom divorced your dad. So let's put his mind at ease and hear why.
Okay, just get to whatever point this is getting to.
The point is, why'd your parents get a divorce? Just so Jonas can hear it from you.
Clarissa, I don't really care why they got a divorce. Just that Alex is...
You know why. Michael died and it broke everything and they couldn't handle it. The end.
Well, now you know, Jonas. Don't die and everything will be fine.
When that predictably goes poorly, Nona and Clarissa stay by the bonfire while Ren, Jonas, and Alex go to the cave by the beach. There are some oddly stacked rocks outside it. If someone were to tune into the proper frequencies by those rocks, something interesting is supposed to happen. Ren eats a magic brownie, and Alex decides to tune the radio to said frequencies to test out the urban legend. They try it by 2 of the piles of rocks, and Jonas asks what Clarissa's damage is. Alex admits that Clarissa dated Michael before his death. Upon the 3rd and final tuning, the 3 are startled by a strange flash of light and a noise further in the cave.
You're going to want to stand basically right around here, and just tune the dial left or right until you start hearing some weirdness.
How will we know when it's...
You'll know. Trust me.
Holy crap!
Wow, it's even cooler than I thought it would be.
How is this? How can this be possible?
Maybe the tuning's like unblocking a weather balloon or something?
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's just crazy, then, because I don't know. If you move around, it kind of changes, too, I think. Like, over at this pile. Here, come over here and try it.
This is so cool.
I know!
Clarissa and Nona should see this, right? I mean, I know it's like weird with you guys or whatever for some reason, but...
They're fine where they are.
Okay, just what is Clarissa's issue with you two?
She dated Michael for 5 seconds like 3 years ago.
Ren is too baked, so he stays outside while Alex follows Jonas in.
I think I mismeasured the magic.
There's like... This is gonna sound stupid, but there's like something in here.
Famous last words. Famous last...
No, I see it too.
I'm sure there is something in there, like a giant rabies-filled bat, or a maniac who wears mannequin wigs.
Or it kind of looks like a pool or something. Like a freshwater one, maybe. Let's check it out. Fortune favors the bold.
Jonas, don't!
She descends quite a long way into the cave and has to rock climb through it. And I do mean a long way. Jonas must be a friggin' athlete despite being a cigarette smoker. They come to a cavern which has graffiti on it that says, "See a man about a dog." I'll talk more about this graffiti toward the end of the video. Further in, they see a locked armoire, graffiti that reads, "Saw the man but not the dog," and a strange small triangle floating high above them. A large triangular rift appears above them, seeming to be a portal to beyond.
Did you see the floating, triangle light thing?
Yes.
It must be like a rainbow or like a reflection of light? Those, exist, right? Cave, triangle rainbows?
Sure, why not? Let's go with that for the time being.
I think this is all tied to when you tuned in those weird signals out there in the, what am I trying to say? I think that you tuned in this little guy somehow. I think it's all the same thing.
Really? You think?
Definitely. Try your radio. Maybe that's like a frequency or something.
What the...
Hello? Dear, tell everyone. Sleepy. Time. Go. Everything. Fine. Things. They're same. Don't know. If leave is possible.
This is insane.
I don't know what...
Listen. Bobtail. Shavetail. Sleepy. Time. Go.
Bobtail could mean a bobbed tail, which is a tail that is cut very short. It could also refer to something curtailed, which is deprivation of something or the cutting short of something. In the military, it could mean a dishonorable discharge. Shavetail could refer to a brand new second lieutenant. In the Army during World War II, munitions and goods had to be carried by mules, who had to be led around by this new officer, called a mule skinner. They would shave the tail of the mule to identify if it was untrained. Sleepy Time Gal could refer to the 1937 song by Glenn Miller, who was himself a U.S. Air Force pilot. Dude was a legend in musical composition. He did In the Mood, which is still a certified banger, Sleepy Time Gal, Chattanooga Choo Choo, the first gold record ever, and Moonlight Serenade, among many other amazing works. He scored more hits than the Beatles or Elvis in his lifetime. His music is still a blueprint for military music today. I highly recommend you look Glenn Miller up. Man was seriously such a Chad. He disappeared in a flight over the English Channel in 1944 and was declared dead a year later. Sleepy Time Gal seems also to have been slang for a promiscuous woman, but I doubt that was what the game designers had in mind as a reference. I just thought it was a fun fact to share.
Is possible.
Maybe? But I don't really...
Bobtail. Leave, children. Bye. Others will see you soon.
Alex! Alex! Alex!
Alex and Jonas wake up at the bottom of the Hardin Tower, a communications tower named for Major Richard Dick Hardin, who was the radio man there for 8 years.
Hardin Tower. Oh, it's called that, I think, because the radio man who watched it, he was Major Richard Hardin. I don't know why I remember that.
Wait, the guy's name was Major Dick Hardin?
Oh, grow up.
Oh, come on! You know that's amazing! Dick Hardin? And they named a tower after him? It's alright, it's a soaker. You'll get it later.
Hey, did you know that it's named after some guy named Dick Hardin?
They climb the tower and suddenly there is a phone call. It's from Wren. He says he is in a building in the woods and found a phone that unfortunately will not dial out. Clarissa breaks into the conversation by calling them from Fort Milner, a decommissioned military base on the island. The player then chooses who to go to next, Wren in the woods or Clarissa at the fort.
Look, I'm gonna leave it up to you. We can swing through the forest and nab Wren, or we can go to the fort and see what Clarissa's up to. They're your people. You can decide.
Ren needs us more. And he'd kill me if he knew we went to see Clarissa first.
Sound logic.
We'll start with the woods. There is a bridge stand there with a lift that goes to the campgrounds. To get the lift working, Alex and Jonas go to the power transfer station to turn on the power. In the small station, Jonas flips the switch for the power and we get our first glimpse into what sort of otherworldly entity is inhabiting the island.
Power transfer station 167. I found the circuit breaker.
Wait, like the first thing it says is, beware of overload. Do not attempt restart without supervision. So I don't know.
Terrific, you'll be my supervisor. Supervisor Jonas. So what does it say to do?
Just let me do it. That way, if something bad happens...
Fine, okay? Take the reins if you're so nervous.
Thank you. All right, well, here goes nothing. What's happening? Why'd the lights go out?
Which flip did you hit?
The only one. There's only one switch, and it's the one that says power, or whatever. I don't know why it didn't do what it should have. The lamp's flickering. Do you think it's like on backup power now or something?
It sounds like it's emitting some weird noise, too. Right?
Yeah, a little. For some reason, it reminds me of the cave.
It's... I can't believe this. It's locked now.
It's okay, we'll just... There's gotta be a way to turn the power on still. That's... God, I haven't heard this in forever. This is something my mom used to...
The sounds coming from the lamp are so creepy and so well done. I think they are one of the most sinister parts of the entire game.
Was that there before? Alex, are you alright? Alex! Not funny. Not funny. Opposite. Total opposite of funny.
The power comes back onto the bridge ferry and our protagonists continue their journey to find Wren.
What a night. Huh?
What a night.
What does that mean?
You said it first.
I'm just saying, this isn't anybody's fault, you know. It just happened. Stuff?
Yeah, you're right. Stuff happens. It just sucks that the stuff that's happening is like really terrifying and annoying.
We'll be alright.
They encounter a campsite that has been abandoned for an undetermined amount of time. On the way to the other side of the map, where Ren is, time starts to loop.
You used to come here a lot as a kid, right? To the island. I mean that's what Ren made it
Yeah,
sound.
with my brother.
With Michael? Yeah? Like, with your mom and dad, or?
Sometimes mom and dad, but mostly just him and me.
Oh, that's cool. Like he'd be babysitting you and he'd bring you out here? That's nice of him. He could have just stayed home, you know?
It wasn't like that. We were like best friends. It's not like he was being forced to do it. He wanted to do it. We liked hanging out together.
Oh, I didn't mean... Yeah, of course.
Some people camp here, but it's weird. I don't know why they just leave their tent.
Looks kinda dumpy. Like, I don't know, like it's been abandoned. Yeah, I can see this place being cool, like in the summer, or even in the spring. You got the park, you got the main street shops.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It can be pretty nice when the conditions are right, you know?
You used to come here a lot as a kid, right? To the island. I mean that's...
Do you ever get deja vu? I feel like didn't we just walk through here?
Huh. That's funny, I don't think we have. I only mention it because my family trips were awful. My mom would always insist on going to Missouri every single year. Ugh. I mean, it was all we could afford, but still.
Why was it so bad?
There just was nothing to do. And my parents wanted to give me a good time, and they couldn't, and I could tell. I don't know. I look back on it now, and those dumb trips are kind of like, they're just containers for, I don't know, the memories that I have with her. Nowadays, I think what stuff happens matters more than where stuff happens. But, I don't know. I changed my mind a lot on that.
Yeah, I think I agree.
It's just a theory, anyway.
Wait, wasn't this... We passed this a minute ago, right? And it wasn't burning?
I honestly don't remember. You used to come here a lot as a kid, right?
Alex and Jonas get off the lift a total of 4 times.
It's wrong. We've already done this, like, twice.
Done what? 'Cause I don't remember any of this.
I think we're going in circles. We've seen these same damn trees, like, I don't know how many times now.
We just got off the tram thing, Alex. This is all new, so, I mean, what are you saying? Are we lost?
Keep repeating this one moment for some reason. God, can't things stay normal for like 2 friggin' seconds?
Well, it's more than a little troubling that I can't tell besides a headache I've only just noticed, but okay, let's deal with this now, sure.
This is, new. It's kind of weird. I had the exact same kind when I was a kid.
Yeah, why would a toy company make 2, right?
Oh, love the jokes. Keep it up. See what happens. Take that, ball. Who's there?
So it's just... I'm taking a picture of the ball moving, not your kicking, just so you know.
Alright, who are you?
Maybe don't and...
Alright, let's not, make it weird now, radio people.
I think they have a sense of...
That's not very nice.
Oh my god. Alex, can you believe this?
This is crazy.
Alex, I think we're dealing with ghosts. Just a hunch.
Oh, yeah? What tipped you off? The messages, the ball, or maybe it was the ghost?
The ghost that just burned itself into the rock? Yeah, that.
The 3rd time, she kicks a soccer ball that appears, and her reflection in the water talks to her.
How am I... Is this an optical illusion or something? Tell Michael to stay with Clarissa. They like each other a lot. What are you? What's...
Wait, we've done this before.
Okay, there's got to be a way out, or...
It's alright, we must have just missed, something.
Can you kind of remember more now?
It's starting to stick. Yeah, I mean, it's still sort of foggy, but whatever, I'll deal with it.
After the loop is fixed, Alex and Jonas continue onward to the way station. Before they reach Ren, though, they see Nona, who refuses to go with them because she said she had encountered them earlier in the night and evidently had a bad experience.
This night has turned banana bread really fast, and I'm seeing things and forgetting things, and I bumped into you once already, and it was horrible, so...
We haven't... This is the first time we've seen you since the beach.
Be that as it may, I've seen an Alex.
We're here because we think Ren is somewhere in the woods.
She does take their suggestion to go wait at Hardin Tower for the rest of the gang to show up, though.
Oh man, thank God. I thought you were a werewolf.
Why would we be a werewolf?
They get to the cabin at the top and find Ren, who is obviously quite freaked out. There's a glitch in the time stream, which itself is unraveling.
Do you have, like, any idea what's going on?
Okay, that must be the way station. And actually, help me understand, why would an island need anything like that anyway?
Damn it, I think we're looping again.
Alex resets the loop, and then she and Jonas go to find Ren again.
Crap. Maybe we shouldn't, go near it?
He is possessed and muttering. Alex tunes the radio, and Ren falls to the ground as a portal opens above them, just like in the cave.
It's all I can think of to do.
Some voices speak to her from it like before.
Oh, God.
Talk through child. Feels stretched.
Better.
No.
What are you?
In between. Fastened. Loose. Grounded.
They tell Alex that they would not and could not hurt the teenagers, calling them dolls. They say they are in between and have been grounded by Margaret Adler.
Grounded.
By
Adler. The Margaret. Pretty.
little
Puppy.
Maggie Adler. That old woman? What does she have to do with anything?
Old woman was young once. We were
young once.
sit
Still.
barefoot.
Tag.
Holy mother of God. You guys?
God, Ren!
You're alive?
I am. I am!
Why was that a question at first?
Ren is freed from the possession and goes to the comm tower at Jonas's suggestion.
Milner Ho?
Milner Ho.
Alex and Jonas go to Fort Milner, a decommissioned military fort. Clarissa figures out how to get the radio in the fort to broadcast her voice. She asks if anyone is there. She sounds afraid.
Ren said something about Fort Milner being decommissioned, right? But, and hear me out, what if it isn't? Just, what if all the stuff that's like happened to us, the stuff we've been seeing, is like the direct result of some government secret project? Like, what if there's some,
Sure. I mean, I'm kind of in no place to toss aside any reason for what's been going on, so yeah, it's the government. Let's go with that.
Alex tunes her radio to a light, and a voice asks if they'd like to play a game.
Dinner time. It's never too late to make dessert. Not anymore.
What the hell is this?
Do you want to play a game?
Alright, I know the answer is no, but we kind of do have to find Clarissa, so let's just ignore the question and thank the weird radio man for the door.
Sure.
A door opens to another area of the fort. When Alex and Jonas step inside, the door slams shut behind them.
No, no. Don't be locked. Come on.
Well, we didn't really need to go back anyway, right?
Unless there's no way out, then yes, we might have. Well, Clarissa got in through some other door, so we should be fine, hypothetically speaking. Speaking of which, She dated Michael? Is that right?
Hey, it was his life, you know, not mine. He could do whatever he wanted. I didn't mean to put it like...
Yeah, I got it. I mean, was he the type of guy that would go for that, like, sort of thing? I'm just trying to...
What sort of thing? What do you mean?
You know, like, intense, I guess is the word I'm trying to find. I mean, just from what I've heard of him, like that one story about the cops just straight buying him a beer. Just what would a guy like that see in her? Like, at least at the start, there must have been something.
It's not a trick question, Jonas. She's been the homecoming queen every year since she grew boobs. And he'd been the captain of every sports team he'd ever played on. It was practically an arranged marriage.
Huh. Okay. It's just interesting, I guess, to me.
They come upon a door that needs a code to open.
Can't pick this one, can you?
No, we need like bolt cutters or something.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll find that around here, though.
What looks like Clarissa possessed runs ahead of them.
Hey, that's... Clarissa!
Clarissa, hold up!
Jonas runs to catch up with her and ends up locked in a room.
Are you all right? Jonas, let me in! I'm not in the mood.
Alex goes to find a way into the room upstairs and sees ghostly, glitchy figures at the window. She sees a figure upstairs as well when she goes to turn on the light.
Testing. Okay. I can't hear anything outside at all, but luckily this radio thing's working. Look, whatever. Clarissa's not in here, and it's just a room, so, like, riddle me that, first of all, and then second of all, I can't get out.
Then she comes back downstairs where a nearby reflection in the mirror speaks to her.
When the time comes, let Jonas talk to his mom. How is this possible? What's going on?
She lets Jonas out of the room and they find the code to the padlock that was preventing them from going on to the next area.
Oh, here's the code for the padlock. 3418. It's on a list of... Huh. They call codes cookies. Is that slang or something?
I don't know, but we got the combo, so great. Hey, did you see that? In the mirror?
It seems all right now. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
And voila!
What was that?
What?
Maybe it wasn't anything. I'm just gonna pretend it didn't happen, so...
They head to the Army RCS, which stands for Radio Communications School. Jonas tells Alex he has to pee, so Alex goes to the window in time to see Clarissa rushing into the building next to them. They go the same way and are shut into another room. No Clarissa, but there is a light and a couple of chalkboards, one of which has a bunch of handprints on it.
What is she thinking? I mean, I'm freaking out too, but like, relax, honey. The handprints are a macabre touch.
Do you know who did that? Please tell me it's like a known thing teenagers here do or something.
Clearly, it's the evil, obviously. First they finger paint, then they wear our lungs like scarves.
Yeah, well, somebody's got to keep the traditions alive. What was that? You heard that, right?
I'm sure it's just the evil again. I forgot this step in between the finger paint and wearing our lungs. They also drop things.
I don't even know why I ask you.
Alex tunes into the light in the room and a voice from the radio begins quizzing her and Jonas on facts about the island.
High in the Cascade Mountains of Washington, the Navy opens the world's largest radio transmitter. Its 1 million watts can flash a message around the world in 1/10 of a second. Hey kids, wanna play a game?
God, can you believe this?
No, I can't. Hangman?
Be sharp and listen, mister. This is going to tell the classification board a lot about what can be expected of you in the future. How many questions will you be able to get in the allotted time?
The first question is the point where hopefully the player was paying attention to their surroundings by listening to the guided tour.
What is the name of the school you are standing in?
School we're standing in? Isn't this...
U.S. Army Radio Communications School.
That's the stuff, Charlie. Now you're swinging. It all goes into your final rating. You want to get a good rating, don't you? You want to be a good soldier?
Why the hell would we want to be a good soldier?
Yeah, sure, if that's that's what you want.
Excellent.
Oh, Jesus. What is going on?
Ugh, come on, guys. This isn't exactly fair now.
Just keep the pointer on the button. Question 2. What did the communications officers at Fort Milner call codes?
Huh. They call codes cookies. Is that slang or something?
Who would
10.
know that? This isn't World War
9.
II. Nobody calls
You
any...
call codes cookies?
There. Now you're cooking. Coded radio transmitters have an important job, and you wouldn't want them to be unqualified.
The ghosts from the radio then possess Jonas and ask her the final quiz question about how many officers died due to the sinking of the USS Kanaloa. The first guidepost gave this answer to the player way back when first arriving on Edwards Island by the Propeller Memorial. The correct answer is 85.
97 brave men and women died on the USS Kanaloa. 85 officers, 12 passengers.
We are an island race, and through all our times the sea has ruled our breaks.
10.
Other ships and other ships
9.
to sail them.
Above all
8.
victories,
Beyond all loss.
7.
Jonas says, "We are an island race." He is referencing the British 1942 film In Which We Serve. In the film, there are naval officers who watch their ships sink. The end contains the small speech the sunken communicate through Jonas.
Here ends the story of a ship, but there will always be other ships, for we are an island race. Through all our centuries, the sea has ruled our destiny. There will always be other ships and men to sail in them. It is these men, in peace or war, to whom we owe so much. Above all victories, beyond all loss,
The United States submarine Kanaloa is shown for the first time in Pacific waters patrolling for the enemy.
Pacific waters patrolling for the enemy. Through the periscope, the commander looks out over the ocean's surface.
Kanaloa was lost today, lost at sea near...
Is this... Are you the dead officers that sunk on the Kanaloa?
We are sunken.
What do you want?
For the first time.
Time. Just time.
Jonas wakes up and the two of them head to the next area to try to find Clarissa.
That was not fun.
Are you feeling better?
I'm feeling... Let's start with that.
This has been United News, and thank you for listening.
This is just unbelievable.
Can anyone just...
That's gotta be Clarissa. Let's get her and get out of here. Or use her radio and get out of here, but let's just get out of here.
Clarissa's asleep right now. Be still so as not to wake her.
Sorry, what? Naturally, Alex and Jonas are less than thrilled by that, but they continue on their way to find her nonetheless. They do at the top of the building.
Clarissa?
Oh, well, look at this. The Super Twins decided to grace me with their presence. I thought maybe I wasn't good enough for a house.
We came here, okay? We showed up and you know what? It wasn't exactly an easy walk. There were like obstacles.
Obstacles. Okay, what ninja training ground kept you from showing up when I called, huh? I mean, it's like a 3-mile spread.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe all the ghosts that are shambling around handing out tests?
Oh my god. Look, stuff has been strange. I'll give you that, but let's not bungee jump into lunacy just yet, okay?
This is like a low frequency thing. It's just meant for the base. It won't... I don't think it can be now.
Really?
No. Isn't there a way...
These officers who know your problems full and well will give you a friendly and sympathetic hearing.
Who is that?
Cross your fingers.
Jonas, wait. We're in another... Got looped again.
Crap. Well, just keep me in the loop. I didn't mean to say that. Clarissa! Is there anything... Can we...
They They loop again, re-enter, and Clarissa is gone, but there is a tape player. Alex fixes the loop, and they return to the room. Clarissa is standing at the window on the ledge. She says that there will be other ships and other souls to sail them, which is also a reference to In Which We Serve.
Clarissa, what are you doing?
Alex, don't.
She's like, never forget she's like with American.
Clarissa, will you wake up?
There will be other ships and other souls to sail.
Oh my god! Why would she do that? Why would she do that?
She was like possessed. This is Jonas. This is so horrible.
I don't even know what to... We should get to the others. I can't even imagine telling them, or how to tell them.
I don't even know how I can tell her mom. I mean, she knows me. This can't. Oh God! And just the fact that I'm the one who is here. God.
We'll figure it out. This is unbelievable.
Alex and Jonas rush to the bottom, but Clarissa is mysteriously gone.
There's no way. We both saw...
Wait, she's alive? How is that possible?
I'd bet all the money in my pocket that no one could survive that. So why isn't she here? Let's just get back to Ren at the comm tower. Maybe he's had better luck than us at anything.
Hey! I saw you guys coming up from the tower. The Dick Tower.
I think you mean Harden Tower.
Please don't ruin that for me. It's all I have left.
They return to the comm tower where Ren meets them at the bottom. He tells them he had another half of a magic brownie to level him out.
I'm so glad I took that second brownie.
What?
It's kind of, it's just about to start doing its thing.
Wait, second brownie? Ren, please tell me this is a joke, okay? This is a joke, right?
Why would this be a joke? I'm not joking.
Wait, you're not messing with us? You seriously took another one?
It was like half of one, all right? It's just to level me out.
This thing doesn't work.
Not getting anything?
I'm getting something, but it's like, I don't know.
Hey, Nona. Night's still going, huh?
We heard you on the speaker system. You got that working?
That's about all I got working. Sorry I was like weird earlier. But hey, have you figured out what's going on yet? You have to know something. You've been like...
It's been ghosts, Nona. Ghosts are going on.
They get to the top where Nona is, and Ren tells them all that the key to Maggie Adler's boat is probably in the parks office where his sister used to work.
Oh, I got it. This is great. This is perfect. I know exactly what to do.
Do you?
Yeah, totally. It's Maggie Adler.
Maggie Adler?
Yeah, she has a boat. Had a boat. I mean, the boat's still here, but she's...
Her house, manor, or whatever it is behind a huge gate. You can see it coming up here from Main Street.
No, I know, but the keys to it are here, somewhat readily available. My sister, Allie, worked at the parks office in town. She had to deliver that old woman her mail every day. I know that they have the key.
Okay, so...
No, we are not. We are not going to go with the plan. The first plan put forth by the group's resident Burnout.
Hey, come on. I'm not a burnout.
Ren and Jonas bicker, and then the player has to decide who to take to town to retrieve the boat keys.
Just guys, please stop. We can fight on the way home. After we get the boat, and I guess if that's even what we're doing.
Look, I don't care what Caveman Jonas says. There is a boat at Maggie Adler's house. And the key to her house is back on Main Street.
And the backup plan for when this thing fails spectacularly is two of us have to stay here by the semi-functioning walkie-talkie.
Fine by me. Alex has the radio. Are you okay to go into town? Not that you wouldn't be.
Yeah, it's not like, I'm fine. Whatever, I'm ready.
You shouldn't go alone. We don't need like 3 of us up here.
Can you believe Jonas back there? Blaming me for everything. Me. I can't imagine dealing with him the whole night. How have you not just, attacked him by now? It must be so annoying. His whole shtick.
He just had a bad moment, Ren, okay? It's been a night of extraordinary circumstances. I think we can cut the guy some slack.
Okay. Oh, good-hearted one. I'll turn the other cheek if it'll make you happy.
Alex and whoever get to town, and Clarissa is outside the park's office, sitting on a lamppost outside, where they need to enter.
That's Alex, that's Clarissa. What? How'd she get up there?
Clarissa, how are you not dead right now? Like swan dive out of a window, empty pool dive, dead.
Holy Jesus Christ, Alex!
Alex tunes the radio and tries to open a portal like before, but the possessed Clarissa stops her.
Not again. I hate when this happens.
Can you, I mean, you helped me before, right? Can you help her?
You think you can control me?
I'm trying to help you. This
Help me. Help me. How will that help me?
I was looking forward to seeing you. Yes, I used to dream about something like this.
Don't you... there's a ghost in you right now. They've like perverted this whole...
Ghosts? Sounds pretty scary, kids. Better leave the nightlight on.
When you're off, the little machine has no more heart than a brain.
No more heart.
Then Clarissa falls from the lamppost. She sits up and appears to no longer be possessed. She doesn't know how she got outside the park's office. She says she feels like Alex is the cause of everything.
Wait, it's Clarissa's turn already?
Yeah, it's my turn. What do you mean it's Clarissa's turn already?
Time glitches and there is a bonfire in the parking lot, simulating the one on the beach from earlier. Clarissa asks what happened, and Alex admits she tuned the radio and opened the portal. Clarissa reveals that Michael died because Alex wanted him to take her swimming one more time before he would graduate high school. Clarissa says that Michael was going to leave Camino when school ended. Possessed Clarissa says, all the outs in free and time unglitches.
All the outs in free.
Ooh, boy. I got a massive basket of deja vu dumped on my head just now. You ever get that? I haven't had one of those since I saw those 2 brown dogs.
I guess you don't remember, like, anything that just happened, right?
Think I'm gonna need a refresher?
Alex and whoever kick open the door into the park's office.
Yep, this isn't budging.
All right, we're kicking this baby in.
Find a letter from Maggie Adler telling them to find the true chronicle of the island by tuning into the station 140.1 and following the clues to find her other letters, and wall radios to help them get past the gate to Maggie's house. It's kind of like an extender for the radio, as it can pick up more frequencies than a normal radio. WALL stands for Wave Assisted Lock.
Oh, cool. Check this out. Personal effects of Margaret Dorothy Adler.
Why would her stuff be here? Didn't her family, or, like, hasn't her family been carting her things back to town?
We can head back. I'm just gonna... Here, this is... To whom it should concern. Classic opening. This island and its history is a lie. Wow, firing on all cylinders right at the start.
What? What could that mean?
I've been compelled by both forces outside my control and my own willful concern for the safety of others to conceal the many truths about Edwards Island. But now I feel any further inaction may carry a far...
Many truths?
Shh. Inside, you'll find 2 wall-equipped radios. I have commandeered the old Cardinal Station 140.1 and used it to relay clues to nearby beacons buried throughout the area. Find these beacons and the notes within, and discover the true chronicle of the island.
Oh, scavenger hunt! Scavenger hunt, scavenger hunt!
Yeah, hold on. To whosoever finds the material, know that I am discomfited for keeping it hidden, and ashamed for the lies I helped preserve. But also know that I acted in what I felt were the best interests for all at the time. And truly, for the interest of time itself.
They head to the Adler estate to get the boat and leave.
We got the key. It's this new radio. That's the main thing.
Now is the time to mention Michael a bit further. Voiced by Anthony Lamb, Alex's brother and overachiever. He seems to have a promising future in flashbacks of him, as he is a football player and an all-star student. Alex is suddenly back in time on Edwards Island with Michael and Clarissa. They seem happy together. Michael and Clarissa seem to have been having a wonderful day, she even calling it flawless.
Today turned out to be a flawless day. It really did.
Yeah, no, it did. It really did.
They get to the beach and Michael has to go get his phone off the ferry. Alex and Clarissa converse briefly.
I'm glad we could all do stuff today. I'm glad you were cool with it. I mean, I know you guys are really close, and like, I know it can be annoying when somebody starts keeping all their time for their girlfriend or whatever. So I think it would be cool if we could like continue to do things together. Michael, he loves you like a lot. I'm sure you know that, but he talks about you all the time. Oh, Alex did this, and...
Yeah, well, I love him too.
I had to fight the skipper for it, but he didn't reckon how many squats I could do.
What's it up to, 6?
Only on burrito days.
So apparently you love me. Is that right?
Well, if I don't know why I got you that skateboard for your birthday.
Then Michael comes back, and Clarissa offers to go get everyone a drink so that the siblings can have a private conversation.
So, I actually really want a cold something, so I'm gonna run into town and get like a soda. Anybody want anything?
Yeah. Get me a drink too?
Sure. I'll be back.
Okay, I'm here. What's the story? I want the news. I want the Alex first edition. What's going on?
I've missed you, man. I've just missed you a lot, that's all.
Hey, come on. I've missed you too. And I know I've been hanging out with Princess, but it's a two-way thing. You can knock on my door. We live in the same house. We gotta bring back movie night.
Yeah, sure.
And look, I know this was supposed to be our day, but I completely forgot I promised Clarissa I'd do something with her, so thanks for chaperoning. It's important to me that you like Clarissa, Alex, so tell me the truth. What do you really think of her?
The player can decide to tell Michael to stay with or dump Clarissa, or that it's his decision.
You know, I never noticed. That's a good-looking jacket. I should ask for it back. I don't like my new one. Feels like I got shoes on my arms or something.
No way, Bucko.
Bucko? You haven't called me that in years.
We return to the present, 3:20 a.m.
Are you alright? You've just been shuffling your feet back and forth and talking to yourself like you're having a brain thing. Are you doing okay?
Alex and whoever get to Maggie Adler's house to meet up with the two who are at the comm tower. They discuss Clarissa's whereabouts and decide to go into the manor's grounds to ensure that there is a boat to make sure they have a way off the island first.
Cool.
Wow.
Neat. Please have a boat. Please have a boat. Please have a boat.
Just think happy thoughts.
Jesus, that house is huge. That lady really knew how to live. It's like the Chateau de Adler.
There is something up with her. She has this giant house. She's burying like secret messages all over the place. I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah, and we can leave it to Scrappy Doo or whoever to figure it out.
What's a Scrappy Doo?
This part made me face existentialism in a big way. The fact that there are adults walking around today who do not know who Scrappy-Doo is extremely distressing to me. Scrappy-Doo was Scooby-Doo's nephew who was ready to, well, scrap with any of the ghosts he came in contact with, often having to be reined back in and saved by one of the Mystery Incorporated gang. His catchphrase was, "Puppy power!"
That is a nifty gizmo.
They see that the boat needs keys and they are nowhere to be found, so they decide to search the house for them. Clarissa is waiting for them inside the house. She claims to have climbed through the window and implies that she climbed the gate to get in. What? We know that the wall radio is how the teens got here in the first place, so that seems highly unlikely.
I thought you hated physical activity.
Not when my life's in peril. Christ.
Find anything useful?
Not yet, but you know, the night is young.
How's the, Nona stuff going?
Good, I think. I don't know. I think we're kind of bonding, maybe. She told me she missed her dead cat, which, I don't know. I took as a good sign.
Just be yourself, Ren. Whatever happens, happens, and this way the strategy will be simple to remember.
Got it. Being myself, starting now.
Alex goes outside to talk to the other teens. When she gets to the basement where Ren is, she finds the combination to a chest and some paperwork confirming that Maggie's family does indeed own the island.
Are you, doing okay?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Yeah?
We're going home soon, so...
Yeah, that's true.
Alex and Jonas find the boat keys in the attic in a chest, along with the map of the cave that they first tuned into. There is also a note which reads, "Tune into the source." When they step out of the house, time glitches again, and Alex is in the attic. Her friends are passed out, except for Clarissa, who is calling to her in a creepy way.
Alex! Oh, Alex! Come down here, please.
We have something we want to show you.
Ah, there you are. Now we imagine you're a bit confused, but don't fret. This will be the final part of your training, Alex.
All training is supervised by very skilled instructors.
The Sunken are communicating through Clarissa that Alex tuned into their signal, empowering them, allowing them to come through.
You signed up for this, Alexandra.
Is possible.
So please, I cannot bear your excuses, offspring.
How was I meant to know what the hell was gonna happen?
They play a game of I Spy with Alex.
Now, let's start with the softball. I spy with my little eye radiation. There is, of course.
Are you talking about the TV?
Very good. Well done. The older models and maybe X-rays. But right now, you'd be wise to think of radiation in another sense. Pay attention. I spy with my little eye a knot.
The knot of eternal recurrence states that time repeats itself in a loop infinitely, and that exactly the same events will continue to occur in exactly the same way over and over again. Basically, things are predetermined so that the outcome will remain the same no matter what.
It's time for the bonus round, Alex, so stay quick.
This is what you really want to find.
I spy with my little eye a picture of a memory. Be fast now.
The picture of I guess it's Maggie Adler and somebody. Is this it?
Yes, very nice. That's Margaret Adler and her friend Anna. See, you and your schoolyard chums are experiencing, well, this has sort of happened before. Maggie and Anna tried to sport with us many years ago, and, well, only one survived. And in the process, we discovered a way for us to return, so to speak.
The Sunken reveal that Maggie and her friend Anna tried to tamper with the Sunken years before, and that Anna died as a result. They say that is what gave them the knowledge of how to come back. They killed her by trying to take her over too quickly. They state that they have to take their time with possessions to soak.
The knot of eternal recurrence. The waves. It's the waves, we think. And we will use the waves to absorb into your friends as sunlight blooms into flowers. And we will grow. And we will engulf.
Wait, what happens to them after you're absorbed?
Their form will exist with us inside. It will be a swap, you see, of essences, I guess you could call them. We tried it too quickly with Anna, but now we know to wait and soak. We had to keep you here, on the island. And it will be a great honor, Alex, really, to carry us through this life. And on to the next.
You had your time. Don't take ours just because you had some accident.
We never had our time. It was ripped from us. We watched the universe's conception fly to its demise over and over and over again. When our vessel dashed on the rocks, we had until dawn, and so will you. We would spend that time wisely, and we thank you for your good service.
Alex goes to fix the loop in the house, but before she can finish, her reflection speaks to her for the third time.
Tell Michael he should go out on his own.
So we can go on. I think I'm gonna be sick.
Me first.
It wasn't a dream or a vision or something. You and Clarissa standing in the living room just now, was it?
Clarissa?
No, but I wish it was a dream. Usually there's a lot more talking horses.
We're in, like, trouble.
Yeah.
God, that all really
Well, I mean, we're in trouble only if you don't like getting your soul consumed by a 100-year-old submarine crew.
Okay.
So, I mean, Christ, if Clarissa was whisked away to the cave by nuclear submarine monsters, then, I mean, the plan has to be to retrieve her, right?
I'm still going to call them ghosts, if that's okay.
Clarissa is only like one slice of the problem. We're all infected or whatever, so we need to rip the issue off like a bandage all at once.
Okay, great, yeah, but how do we do that?
Well, a good question.
Maggie, I think Maggie Adler might have had some sort of a plan or a scheme or something to fix what's going on.
What possible plan could Maggie Adler have? First of all, she's dead.
She wrote in her journal or something or other about tuning into the source of the problem in the cave. And I think she was talking about the ghosts.
Well, if we're going to the cave... Oh, actually, I forgot. I saw the entrance has been caved in since you guys went inside.
All right, I know there are a whole bunch of secret communist bomb-fearing tunnels dug into this place during the 1950s. And Maggie has loads of film about military stuff in her basement, so...
Maybe there's a way back into the cave through one of those, you're thinking?
Let's take a look.
Does anyone buy the whole eternal recurrence thing?
Literally? No idea what you're talking about right now.
Yeah, what's that again? Is that like reincarnation?
It's the idea that if time is infinite and matter is finite, then everything will eventually repeat in the same exact pattern again and again.
I subscribe to whatever snake handlers believe in, so...
The loop closes and everyone but Clarissa is there, she having apparently been taken to the cave where it all began. Alex found evidence upstairs that they should tune into the source, meaning the cave. The previous entry caved in, so they have to find another way in. They decide to consult Maggie's films in her basement to see if they contain any clues. There is a bomb shelter that is connected to the cave, so they decide to use that. It's also revealed that Maggie was aware of the rift portals, which she called temporal tears. The final slide shows how to open the bomb shelter using the call and response system.
So, if you look at the, lines or whatever, the bomb shelter should lead right into the cave, just like from another angle. According to this, at least.
Oh, so it does.
Brilliant!
Is it?
Yeah, how do we get in? It's just like the cave wall, only steel or whatever bomb shelters are made out of.
Alright, well...
Oh, what? She knew about these things?
Wow, that's crazy.
It says that to fix a temporal tear, that's a mouthful, in the cave, we would need to transpose to the other side and tune into the source within itself?
Okay, but we're not doing that, right?
Good question.
Yeah, that's going a little above and beyond.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, but strap in, boys and girls, because we might have to, okay? If it's the only thing that will fix us.
Yeah, but that's, scary.
Well, something better work.
Or we're boned.
Or we're boned. Precisely.
Oh, sorry, this looks like the end, but from the wrong film thing.
No, wait. This is something I actually remember from that stupid radio tour thing, because it, sounded so weird. It's called the call and response system. It unlocks the bomb shelter. This is showing us how to do it. See? It says, when someone sends an emergency signal from the Catbird station in the woods, and the receiving station confirms it. It's like a connected response thing.
All right, but come on, Nona, do you honestly believe that the old equipment in either building will still work?
I don't know, but it's the only thing we have so far.
And time's a-clicking.
Alex and me will head through the woods, do the, call part. You and Ren can hang by the door to the bomb shelter and open it when it's ready.
Alex and Jonas head to Relay Point to send the signal, while Nona and Ren go to await the signal and respond at the bomb shelter. When they go to take their separate paths, Alex passes out and has a vision of Ren drowning.
You know what time it is?
It's 4 a.m, which is usually about the time everyone decides if they're going to bed or ordering another 3 pizzas.
Yeah? What's your vote usually in, that situation?
Never leave pizza on the table. It's like getting 11 in blackjack. Just double down. Don't even think about it.
You think this tuning into the tear thing's gonna work? Really?
It really doesn't matter if I think it's gonna work. It's sort of all we have, and we're running out of time.
It is all we have, yeah. I just wish I felt like the ghosts were concerned that their plan won't work. I just feel like they're pretty confident.
Yeah, well, you know who else was confident? Hitler. And look how he ended up. Dead. With syphilis.
Now the station's up at the top of the hill. I hope this works.
When they get to the hill where the call and response station, aka Catbird station, is, time begins to loop again. She and Jonas see Ren dead 3 times. Nona is there as well, saying she isn't sure what happened before Alex glitches back to the power station with a possessed Jonas.
Nona, what happened? What's wrong with Ren?
Ren, he had an accident. He died. I couldn't.
Nona, come on. Clarissa was dead too, but like bunny ears dead, not dead, because apparently killing yourself doesn't actually do anything here.
Alex!
Well, it's the truth, Jonas. And I'm not gonna stand here and fall for one of these I'm dead, no I'm not, shuffleboard swaps again. Come on, let's skip to the last chapter. I know it's gonna happen.
He drowned. He took a fall. I don't know. He just stopped.
I mean, does it really matter what happened?
Either way, done is done. And done and...
Shut up, okay? Just shut the hell up. I don't want to hear any more of your ghost garbage, all right?
It isn't garbage, and we're not ghosts. Don't be rude. Alex, we know you're in charge, and we know your plan, and we also know that your plan won't work. It never does. So we have a proposition for you. A deal. A bargain, really.
A proposition? Like what?
It's already over with Clarissa. She's gone. We'll pilot her through the rest of existence, and there's nothing you can do to change that. But if you agree to let us take her, let her go, quietly and without fuss. We won't slaughter the rest of your friends, like young Reginald here.
No way. I'm saving everyone. Everyone is coming home with me. We're all getting out of here.
Courage is not always the way, dear. You don't have much time left. Do you know how we know you don't have much time left?
Fine. Shoot. How do you know?
We know because we can be Jonas for this long, and his soul's as quiet as an empty church.
Just never say we didn't provide you all the rules.
Alex and Jonas get to the station and radio to Ren and Nona. They open the shelter door. Jonas is more susceptible to long possession. It seems the more the night progresses, the stronger the Sunken's hold on the teens. It's 5 a.m. and before the two go to reunite with Ren and Nona, time glitches and Alex is back in time a year ago. She is walking with Michael and he asks her to promise that she won't steal a car again. Alex and her friend took the friend's mom's car to a music festival. Michael comes to get Alex from the police station. He tells her he isn't sure if he wants to stay in Kamina after graduation. She can encourage him to stay, tell him to do what he wants, or to go.
You should hear how the teachers talk about you.
I know how they talk about me. It's like if I don't become a billionaire president, their life has been wasted. I know you think I have it on easy street, but people looking at you all the time wanting evidence that it's good, that they lived here, that good things can happen to people that are from here, it can get to be a real drag.
I think now might be the best time in the video to mention the Adler letters. Earlier on, when we found Maggie Adler's personal effects, there was a letter from her with instructions to look for other letters to uncover the true chronicle of Edwards Island. First, let's talk about the official history of the island, or at least the history according to the guideposts. The reported, chronological history of Edwards Island. The Portuguese discovered the island sometime prior to or in the 1600s. The roosting tree, believed to be the oldest thing on the island, was discovered in 1655.
When he was stationed at Fort Milner, Colonel Tim Russell would frequently wander the woods west of his barracks and sketch the wildlife he'd encounter on his walks. After the fort closed in 1974, he led a petition to make the land federally protected, and in 1988, he succeeded. Now, Edwards Forest is an internationally recognized wildlife refuge and bird sanctuary, home to 120 bird species, most notably the white-tailed towhee, a large sparrow indigenous to only this island. The roosting tree that stands before you is a 400-year-old red alder, famous since its discovery in 1655, when Franciscan friars noted that its unusually twisted trunk is bent true north.
The wishing well was the first structure built upon the island, but wasn't used much prior to 1852 when it was abandoned for a time.
Dredged by Franciscan friars, this freshwater well was never actually used, as the missionaries quickly decided the island wouldn't suit their ministering needs and abandoned the project in 1852. It was utilized by Spanish pioneers for a while until it became a secondary resource for mining companies to get clean water. The U.S. Navy ended up digging their own, more modern water pipeline, but servicemen and women would come here frequently for off-site meetings and day events.
The island's owners were originally the Portuguese, then the Spanish, then Colonel Caleb Edwards, the island's namesake, in 1890 for his service in the American Indian Wars. Then, finally, the U.S. government with Fort Milner in 1941.
This island has had many owners. Portuguese explorers, Spanish settlers, but few stayed long, preferring the ranch work offered by the mainland. After 1890, the island was gifted to Colonel Caleb Edwards for his part in the American Indian Wars, and he would lease it to several mining companies throughout the early 1900s. This relay station served as the center of a makeshift railroad that carted coal to northern and southern piers. When Edwards died, the government saw a hole in national security at the outset of World War II and decided to take control of the island once again, founding Fort Milner in 1941.
Hardin Tower was erected in 1941 and served a host of communications functions.
From 1941 to 1972, this communications tower served many different telecommunication functions, including point-to-point from its receivers, microwave from its dish, Ka-band for satellite reception, and military airband for nearby aircraft. Unique in its construction, the tower houses its office in a segmented platform directly underneath its antenna and dish. Once unceremoniously called Site 82, in 1988 it was redesignated Hardin Tower for its longest tenured radio man, Major Richard Dick Hardin, who served as the tower's communications officer for 8 years.
The U.S. Army Radio Communications School would follow soon after, along with Catbird Station and the Data Command Annex.
Fort Milner was the home of the U.S. Army Radio Communications School, which saw more than 100,000 students take its curriculum. During the years it was open, the school trained troops from the various armed services in applied oral communication, radio and TV broadcasting, telecommunications, and what was then state-of-the-art techniques in code breaking using an early form of computer technology. The school was moved to Fort Baxter in Southern California when the post closed in 1974, and it still resides there to this day. This Data Command Annex, as it had been dubbed, was used during the base's early years as the communication nerve center for outside military installations. It was also the primary office of Marianne Bozek, a civilian who developed communications protection through the invention of the famed WAL system. A type of radio frequency identification, WAL, standing for Wave Assisted Lock, assigned each person who was stationed at Fort Milner a call sign through which they could use their portable two-wave radios to unlock prescribed doors and gates. Though the mechanics are considered outmoded today, the island still uses this security method to honor its rich history.
Shortly after 1942, the USS Kanaloa's propeller became a monument. The bomb shelter came along 5 years after.
The lead blast door will only unlock through use of the call and response system, a setup devised by Lieutenant Commander Matthew Feinberg to prevent tampering. If the Catbird Station, a small watch point in Edwards Forest, radios in a decoded attack, the shelter door will automatically open, triggering an alarm and compulsory evacuation. Sculpted by Lieutenant Peter Hasborough. It was installed here in 1979 to remind all who view it of Fort Milner's original intent, to serve as a beacon of harbor defense. Though the base would eventually become acclaimed as the birthplace of many radio innovations during World War II, and until its deactivation would be known more for its schooling and the tragic sinking of the USS Kanaloa, the fort's spirit will always be that of the watchful sentry, steady, protective, and ever vigilant of enemies both foreign and domestic.
The Sentry was built after the government took control of Edwards Island to remind the American people of the intent the government had for it. Now for the history according to Maggie Adler's letters. I'll go over each one as well as where to find them, but in chronological order, not the order in which you find them. Epiphany Fields, at the foot of the lighthouse. There's a similar statue of a soldier in Maine where I grew up. My memory of it is, I think, part of the reason why I said yes when the Army recruited me out of college despite my family's protestations. Anna, my closest friend from childhood, was of course thrilled at the possibility of my escape. I anonymously started the petition in 1975 to have this one made, after the daughter of Kanaloa crewman Francis Salter asked. I don't know why. A marker, maybe, for the hope I once had to help people. Milner Outpost, at the foot of the tower. Recruits learned communications technology here, and several others learned code breaking, it's true. But due to my aptitude in math and mechanical engineering, I was assigned code making, specifically ciphers with which to conceal projects from even other government agencies. It was a job I grew increasingly uncomfortable with, but my keen interest in radio science had me pulling double duty as a comms officer. I remember one of the Kanaloa's engineers, Francis, calling me a radio woman. As far as he knew, it was my only job. Hardin Tower, near the guided tour plaque. I was on watch duty in the tower when it happened, having just gotten back from an early leave for the reading of my father's will. For years, I childishly blamed him for this, too, his one last act against me, but it was nobody's fault or decision but my own. I'm sure it was Francis Salter who sent the Kanaloa's distress signal. It had been cut off, I still don't know why, and I hastily interpreted the garbled transmission as an attempt to jam radar, and so I sent back the guidebook recommendation to scout and bomb if necessary. Main Street, in the alley beside the antique store. The USS Walter Roy, a destroyer escort, sunk the USS Kanaloa with friendly fire on October 25th, 1943. It had held a developmental nuclear reactor in its belly and had been sent out weeks earlier as a test of its capabilities. Relatively few even knew of its existence, which tripled the base's confusion when the submarine's communications had been cut. No one outside of a handful of us would ever know the truth. I would discover later that a weapons technician of the Walter Roy had been at Francis Salter's wedding. Salter was an engineer on the the Kanaloa. I don't know why, but it's strange to me. Facilities, near the beds on the lower level. The first transmissions from the lost soldiers were recorded here by a signal officer training new recruits. I heard about it soon after. Yes, word of the childlike, almost playful messages spread quickly, but the broadcasts were usually dismissed as an ongoing prank, faulty equipment, or AM stations bouncing off the Midland. However, after I successfully decoded one as a mayday from Calvin Gilbert, an electrician who perished on the USS Kanaloa, I knew it had to be something more. Discovery Cliffs, close to the red and purple bushes. Mary Ann Bozak, forever engraved on the Command Annex's memorial plaque, was a kind, humble woman who helped me decode the ghost's unusual messages. I don't think she ever really believed my hypothesis that they were relays from the sunken submarine, even though she corresponded with, as she put it, a man named Calvin, an electrician who died on the Kanaloa. I pieced together the truth, the cover-up, and my own tragic mistake that killed him and his mates over months of careful deciphering. U.S. Army Radio Communications School, under the signpost. When people in the comms department began transferring off, I was able to convince my higher-ups, including, coincidentally, one eventual Army passenger on board the Kanaloa, Henry Griffin, to bring Anna on board as a replacement. Anna had been working in broadcasting, so it made enough sense to the upper ranks. Incidentally, when I dream, it is usually during this time period, amidst the change, and I am trying to prevent Anna from ever coming. Bridge stand, near the graves to the far left. My belief, bolstered by Anna's and my research conducted largely at the Catbird station where interruptions were rare, is that the men and women of the USS Kanaloa were separated from our dimensional existence by the implosion of the submarine's nuclear reactor. I identified one passenger, Henry, by his call sign, and his confused diction and reliance on game logic says to me that their emotional states, if not mental states, had been reduced to that of children, a thought I cling to when I envision Anna's demise. Campgrounds near the stone ruins at the top left. Anna and I frequently conducted tests of what was once the East Barracks here during the brutal winter of '51. Waves of any kind, radio, nuclear, electromagnetic, seemed able to pass through all existences under certain circumstances, which explained our ability to get communiques sent from them. This might also justify the frequency of hearing one of the Kanaloa's electricians' call signs, Calvin Gilbert, come echoing through the relays. On April 4th, 1952, we would attempt to reverse the manifest breakdown and bring the soldiers back. Relay point, beside the wishing well. After stealing equipment from this relay station, Anna and I entered the cave just before dawn to try and communicate directly with the crew of the USS Kanaloa. We successfully tuned into the source of the temporal tear and spoke, albeit briefly, to Henry Griffin, an SOC sergeant who died on the sub. But the power overwhelmed my dear Anna, and she was absorbed into its ridge. All that remains there now is the flickering hue of a partially open gate, a window to a perpendicular space that seems to have augmented the submarine's call. But, of all my regrets, perhaps the deepest is knowing Anna's last vision was of me, fleeing from her in terror. Towhee Woods, by the log on the far bottom right. After the fort closed, I used the considerable resources from my father's endowment to buy up most of the land, or influence government officials to declare that which I could not buy protected. I have not been entirely successful, and I have watched in horror as a small tourist industry has precariously sprung upon this cursed island. Even the family of one of the sailors who died, Calvin Gilbert, set up a restaurant to cater to inquisitive out-of-towners. I can promise this, though, the museum will never happen, and the beach and caves will be boarded up. Beacon Beach at the bottom of the stairs. To whoever is finding these notes, understand my hope is that by enshrouding this intelligence in such an obtuse manner, its detection will discourage most innocent seekers, thereby allowing it to befall the correct person, and not the easily distracted military mind, nor the typically bewildered excursionist. Do not blame the submarine's crew. I don't believe its passengers like Henry Griffin can even understand what has truly happened to them, and you do not have to forgive me for my myriad failures. But, please, remember the name, Anna Shea. Know that she did not deserve her fate. Main Street in The Office, received first and part of the storyline.
Whom it should concern. Classic opening. This island and its history is a lie. Wow, firing on all cylinders right at the start.
What? What could that mean?
I've been compelled by both forces outside my control and my own willful concern for the safety of others to conceal the many truths about Edwards Island. But now I feel any further inaction may carry a far...
Many truths?
Shh. Inside, you'll find 2 wall-equipped radios. I have commandeered the old Cardinal Station 140.1 and used it to relay clues to nearby beacons buried throughout the area. Find these beacons, and the notes within, and discover the true chronicle of the island.
So it seems that Maggie Adler was the cause of it all, however inadvertently, as she misinterpreted a garbled signal and ordered the USS Walter Roy to scout and bomb if necessary. This led to the sinking of the USS Kanaloa. She tried to keep the sunken at bay throughout the rest of her life, hoping to atone for her mistakes and feeling guilt at the death of her friend and perhaps lover, Anna. Here is a brief description of the remaining major characters in this story to hopefully round things out somewhat. The Sunken, an entity that consists of the 97 people who were sunk on the USS Kanaloa and trapped outside of time and space. They consist of, most notably in the game, Francis Salter. He sent the distress signal the night the Kanaloa sank. Calvin Gilbert. He sent the Mayday signal from the doomed Kanaloa after it sank. Henry Griffin. Maggie Adler and her friend Anna communicated with him before Anna's demise. Margaret Maggie Adler, the only permanent resident of Edwards Island. Her death is the catalyst the Sunken needed to be free of the island cave. She was a comms officer on the island in World War II. On October 25th, 1943, Maggie Adler was on duty in the comm tower when an unintelligible transmission came through that she believed to be an enemy attempt to jam radar. She signaled for surrounding ships to scout and bomb if necessary. Anna Shea was Maggie's friend who investigated the transmissions from the Kanaloa alongside her. She was absorbed by the crew when they attempted to possess her. She tries to communicate in Morse code and her last message has to be decoded. It reads, "Ask a man about a dog," after she has devolved to the point of having been absorbed by the Sunken. Now, before we get to the end of the story, we should also talk about the anomalies that are scattered throughout the island. They are tiny piles of rocks which denote odd frequencies. Another word for these pile of rocks is cairns, a very Scottish word, which, as we all know, I'm not great with. They are left as trail markers. I should mention here that people post these on social media or make their own. Please don't. Park rangers and park officials say that they could be mistaken as trail markers and people could get lost.
Something
keeps touching my leg in the water, and I don't know what it is. Can we just go into the cave now?
No, sure. I just want you to have a good time. Wait, I think there's something down there.
Wait, Jason, don't trip. There's a... Jason?
Yesterday, the remains of 4 bodies were discovered in 2 cars submerged west of Cape Mears. How the cars got in the water, no one...
Charlie 6.
Every individual it is maintained is enveloped in a radiance invisible to the carnal eye and only perceived by the soul accustomed to it.
Radionics is a form of alternative homeopathic medicine. It was devised by Albert Abrams, who claimed he could see vibrations and energy frequencies that were affecting his patients. He made EMT, or electromagnetic therapy, machines and made a fortune out of them. It's been largely seen as pseudoscientific by the medical community.
Baychimo, Thresher, Peterhoff, Arizona.
The SS Baychimo, also known as the Ghost Ship of the Arctic or Alaska's Phantom Ship, was abandoned in 1931. It kept getting stuck in ice. No one on board perished, fortunately. It continued to drift down the coast of Alaska until its final sighting in 1969. The USS Thresher was a nuclear-powered submarine that sunk in 1963 during deep diving tests off the coast of Massachusetts. All 129 people on board died. It was the first nuclear submarine lost at sea and led to the implementation of a rigorous safety program known as SubSafe, which is still used to this day. Right here, I just want to interject and say that throughout the creation of this video, I have had to confront the fact that real people lost their real lives in what had to be terrifying ways. It's given me a new respect for sailors, especially those in submarines. Truly just some of the most gallant and bravest people. Thank you for your service. The USS Peterhoff was a gunboat used by the Union Navy against the Confederate States during the American Civil War. It was rammed by the USS Monticello, which had mistaken it for a blockade runner. The USS Arizona was a battleship that escorted President Woodrow Wilson to the Paris Peace Conference in 1916. It was sunk on December 7, 1941, in the bombing of Pearl Harbor. 1,177 of its officers and crew were killed. There is a memorial built across the sunken remains of the ship in Hawaii.
You find fault with anything, or expose it, with charity, the abbot shall discuss it prudently.
Lest perchance God has sent him for this very thing.
Lest perchance God had sent for this very thing is part of Saint Benedict's rule. The full quote is, "If any pilgrim monk come from distant parts, with wish as a guest to dwell in the monastery, and will be content with the customs which he finds in the place, and do not perchance by his lavishness disturb the monastery, but is simply content with what he finds, he shall be received, for as long a time as he desires, if, indeed, he find fault with anything, or expose it reasonably and with the humility of charity. The abbot shall discuss it prudently, lest perchance God had sent him for this very thing.
Box 6.
Well, how do you know you're Bobby Dunbar?
I know who I am, and I know who you are, and nothing else makes a difference.
Bobby Dunbar was a 4-year-old boy who went missing in Mississippi while on a fishing trip with his family. An 8-month nationwide search for him ensued thereafter. What actually happened to him is unknown to this day, but his family believes he may have been eaten by an alligator while in the swamp. Investigators at the time thought that they had tracked him down with the Walters family. This led to the arrest of William Walters for kidnapping, though that was thrown out 2 years later after his attorney appealed. Julia Anderson came forward and claimed that the boy they found was actually her son, Bruce, who she had left in the care of the Walters family for a few days. She was not believed because she did not have the financial means to fight in court, and she had 2 other kids outside of wedlock, which at the time was like social suicide for some stupid reason. The courts granted custody of the boy to the Dunbars, and he lived out the rest of his life as Bobby Dunbar. DNA would prove after his death that he was not, in fact, Bobby Dunbar. This American Life has a radio special about this called The Ghost of Bobby Dunbar, in which they discuss Margaret Dunbar Cutright, Bobby's granddaughter's search for answers in his case. I highly recommend giving it a listen. It's only an hour of your time and it's very well spent.
The island is famously named after Colonel Caleb Edwards for his glorious and triumphant slaughtering of countless families during one of the great ethnic cleansings of the 20th century. The forceful removal of an ignorant people to make space for destined holders is a time-honored tradition in our still young country, and you will be a part of that heritage, Alex. Do not resist. It will be over soon.
It'll be good having somebody else here to watch after the grounds, Bill.
I was a park warden in Grants Pass, so this will be old hat to me. William Marshall, a local park ranger working in Edwards Forest, killed himself today after what his wife describes as a years-long battle with depression. His body was found hanging from a tree in the...
Anomaly 100.3, Discovery Cliffs in the Command Annex, plays a bit of Swedish Rhapsody No. 1 by Hugo Alvin. It was used by Polish intelligence during the Cold War.
Ow. 7.
A low-frequency radio wave is incident upon a body of radio waves travel forever until it is absorbed by matter or a person.
How many of you are there?
4.
Item 3.
Teddy also registered images on objects, places, and persons on magnetic tape, taking into consideration the impossibility of...
Anomaly 106.7. I have no clue what this even is. Couldn't find any real leads. If anyone knows this, please do drop it in the comments down below. Now that we have all of our collectibles, let's get back to the story. The 4 teens, Alex, Jonas, Ren, and Nona, reunite with one another outside the bomb shelter door and take a picture together. Hugs are exchanged.
Okay, I guess. Let's do this.
All right. We'll be back.
Oh, I know.
Oof. Okay. All right.
I am coming with you, you know.
Yeah.
Alex and Jonas go inside the shelter, which has a door that is locked with a wall frequency.
Hey, what do you call a man who's short of time? Huh?
Is this a joke?
Yeah, it's a... What do you call a man that's short of time? Tim. You call him Tim.
There are beds in the shelter and a tape player similar to the ones Alex has been correcting time loops with for most of the night.
It feels like wrong to see one of these when we're not in a time loop, right?
The tape player begins to play a song that Jonas says was one of his late mother's favorites. He says he can hear her in it.
Wait. Okay, you know what? There's like the 10th time we've heard this song all night. There is something going on with... Like, why would this specific tune be all over the place?
Alex winds the machine, tunes into it, and Jonas disappears.
It sounds like it's her. On the recording, or it's just... It's my mom. That's her voice in the static. You can hear that, right? I mean, I know you don't know what she sounded like, but you can hear that. The voice, right?
I can kinda hear it.
Is it possible? Do you think it's possible? I mean, we've been like talking with ghosts the entire night. Do you think it's like it could be? Mom? Whoa.
Jonas, don't!
Alex enters the cave to see a possessed Clarissa waiting for her.
You know, the truth is, we could have left whenever we wanted. We weren't prisoners of the cave.
And why use my friends? Why are you switching with them? Why are you doing this?
Because it's scary, that's why. Have you ever stared into nothing and moved with it and felt a part in it? It's worse than when we were wilting into atoms. Worse than dying the first time.
No, of course not, but you have to, no matter how hard it is.
No, we don't have to. We don't have to do anything, not anymore.
Alex opens a gigantic portal in the cave that behaves differently from all the ones before it. It could be because it's the source, the one she originally tuned into at the start.
Why isn't this, like, connecting?
She passes out and wakes up underwater looking at the Kanaloa. Time jumps again.
You've come to close the hole, right, girl? Well, you're gonna find out it's not that simple.
Or you could just, like, leave. You know, there's still time to not be complete monsters about this and do the right thing here.
The right thing? Oh, I'm sure it's very easy for someone like you to dictate terms when you've never really been challenged. God, you're so spoiled. You don't even know the cost of things. Closing the hole with your stupid toy will spare your friends from our bloom, sure. But it will seal you up in here with us. You'll die with us again and again. So think long and hard about those friends.
Wait, really? Why is that?
Look around you, dear. You're on the wrong side of the tracks.
One last chance.
You don't have
to die.
You can leave, you know, through the gate you opened.
And we keep
the girl.
Clarissa.
The Sunken offer to let Alex go in exchange for Clarissa. They all appear to be underwater on the other side of the gate. They tell her that she will be sealed in with them if she closes the gate. Alex implores one of the Sunken, mentioning him by name.
It was a catastrophic event.
A catastrophic event? You make it sound faded?
This causes them to pause and say that they can't remember much about their humanity, but that their anger remains. Alex tells them that they can take it with them.
Francis. Was our name ever...
Francis.
I almost remember.
You were people once. Don't lose that part of you to be this.
It's
my name.
Francis Salton. It's hard to remember certain things. Our faces went a while ago, then our names.
Our names. But our anger.
Anger is, we're afraid, all we have left. It's kind of the last stitch.
If that's really all you have left, then you can always take it with you.
Scrap it.
Keep your nature. We'll keep ours. Maggie has, will have this friend, and you sort of remind us of her.
Strange
girl. Odd-tempered.
Take care with the time you have left, child, and take notice of what you choose to.
The entity ends up rejecting Alex's plea. They seem to almost pity her, but they are beings outside of time. They disappear, and Alex has become the reflections that spoke to her earlier in the night. The implication is that the reflections have tried to advise her all night in a loop, that Alex has tried and failed all night.
Tell Michael to stay with Clarissa. They like each other a lot. When the time comes, let Jonas talk to his mom. Just don't try and influence Michael. he can live his own life.
Alex wakes up in her bedroom, presumably a year prior. She goes up to Michael's attic bedroom and he is there. He asks if their mom told her about his scholarship.
Oh, hey, I didn't even know you were home. You're always so quiet. It's like living with a little fairy tale mouse.
He tells Alex that he is thinking about just leaving town after graduation and eloping with Clarissa. It's up to player choice what to tell Michael about his future. They say I love you and...
Alex, just get good friends, okay? And when you're with those friends, just say yes to everything. And keep away from boys when you talk to them, it feels like you're performing. But also, stay away from girls who look you in the eye for too long. And match every beer with a water. And take classes outside of school.
Michael, what's this for? What are you doing?
This is a just in case package, okay? Just in case I'm not around. And I love you, and you're amazing, and that's it. So...
I love you too.
But soon, I shall be so I cannot remember any but the things that never happened.
Well, that's ominous. It's 7 a.m. and Alex wakes up with her friends, including Clarissa, on the ferry back to Kamina.
Hey!
Is she alright?
Ouch. Is everyone doing alright? Still, yourselves?
Yeah, I think we're all accounted for, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, my arm fell asleep.
Jonas carried you here.
Jonas tells her that the ghosts are gone and that whatever she did in the cave worked. Clarissa asks if anyone else experienced being with someone in a dream sense when they were possessed.
The ghosts are gone. We're going home.
Or at least they've stopped trying to eat our souls.
We're gonna be okay? Like, all that really happened and it wasn't a dream and we're gonna be okay for realsies?
She said she was visited by her sister. Alex believes that where they ended up in time was random, but Clarissa doesn't seem entirely convinced of this.
Sorry, but like, did anyone have dreams or whatever about the past when they were, taken during the night?
Yeah.
Yeah, a few.
Just the one, I think.
I guess Michael? If it was a dream, but I don't know. I don't think it's like a visit, like it's making a conscious choice to come mess with you. You were just exhaled somewhere, time-wise.
Yeah, I guess the universe doesn't choose to do anything. It just does.
They all start talking about prom. Clarissa invites Alex to go dress shopping with her and Nona. Ren found his book on the ferry. They all agree to take a photo together. Ren quotes the book, and Alex notices that he repeats the line from earlier.
Hey, that reminds me. What were we were talking about something stupid right before Alex woke up.
Prom?
Prom. I am definitely skipping this one. I'm deferring the crown to that wheelchair girl.
All right, you know what? It's picture time.
Oh my god, come on. Nona.
Yeah, I guess we should. Tonight's been, noteworthy.
Noteworthy. That is a way to say it.
Yeah, I'd probably say it another way. Like this, here. When I was younger, I could remember anything, whether it happened or not. But soon, I shall be so I cannot remember any but the things that never happened.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, didn't you...
Cheese!
Before we'd left, I told my mom I was spending the night at a friend's house, and when I got back, I didn't see any reason to change that story. And you know what? I still don't. Ren always loved the town, but the island pretty much erased that in one fell swoop. He ended up going to college in California. The last time I talked to him, he was starting a band called Drunk Talk, so business as usual. Nona, I think, is going to some ballet academy somewhere, but I kind of fell out of touch with her, to be honest. Clarissa left to study English literature. She was thinking of dropping out, but is keeping at it for now. We talk sometimes. Rarely, but sometimes. I hear she's scared of the ocean now. And she got a dog too, if you care. Jonas was the first to introduce me as his sister. You know, without the step part in front of it. And it was weird at first, but it's the truth. He's my brother. He goes to school in town, and we see each other a lot. It's funny. What happened on the island used to pop into my head every single day, and then every other day. And then a week went by, and I realized I hadn't thought about it at all. I guess that's... I don't know. It's good, I think. But anyways, well, if it matters, I'm
taking some time off.
Just to, I don't know, readjust my priorities, figure out what I want to do. But anyways, what time is it? Yeah, sorry, I gotta run or I'll miss the ferry. Ren's dragging me out to Edwards Island for that yearly beach party thing, and I have to pick up what's-his-name Jonas, too. I hope he's not weird or mean or something. Whatever, I'm sure it'll be fun. It's something to do, right?
We learn about what each character does after that night. The player chooses what Alex does, but it doesn't actually matter. Ultimately, whatever she says becomes distorted, and tells us that Ren invited her to the yearly beach bash on Edwards Island. So obviously they never actually left the island at all. Time is still looping. Hell of a way to get me invested in other playthroughs! At this point in the game, you can opt to try and change things, to perhaps get the good ending, or to save yourself and your friends, or to just mess with everything and be a complete jerk. There are several other endings you can try and get. There's a new game plus that features more time glitches, more time skips, and more sunken dialogue. When booting up a second playthrough, it is readily apparent that you are in for a different experience than before.
This is so familiar. Like, I don't know, I feel like you've said all this before.
Well, yeah, I'm sure I've said it to you before, but it's new to Jonas, and he's downright enraptured, right?
Hello? Hello? Anybody out there?
That's awesome. I hope Christina, with her talent show judge face, was listening.
Wait, was... That sounded a lot like my voice, right? At the end there?
Nah. Well, I mean, Carly maybe kind of sounds like you if she sucked down 3 helium balloons or something.
Thanks for making the fire.
Yeah, sure. Gotta put those Owl Scout lessons to use.
Thanks for the beer. Tell your cousin that was nice.
She owed me. I lied about where she was so she could see her boyfriend, Richard. I mean, Dick. But you're welcome.
You know, Ren, he's kinda totally into you.
Yeah, no crap. The guy was practically humping her leg when he asked her to this. It's not a big secret.
Nona, Ren's a great guy, and there's no pressure or anything, but I just want to put in a good word for him, for whatever it's worth.
Look, Alex, Ren seems nice, and I know he's your friend and, whatever, but I'm just not in the mood for something right now. So if you could just, tell him that, just so he, doesn't get his hopes up or whatever.
Yeah, sure thing.
Thanks.
You look relaxed.
I am relaxed.
Clarissa, I want to be friends. Can we be friends?
This is like a very special episode of Fart Date. I'm friends with everybody, Alex, all right? Relax.
How'd you get the fire started?
We are the fire starter. A lighter.
We are truly marvels of modern science.
Hey, wait, people don't bring their junk in here, right? What is that?
It's on. That's... Okay, but anyways, I was going to say that it looks like an intercom or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Just say something into it, see what happens. Well, maybe there's speakers somewhere, or they'll hear it outside.
Hey, Ren, Nona, can you guys hear me? It's Alex, in case you can't recognize my...
Sleepy. Fine. Yeah, everything.
Fine.
Maybe it's broken. I mean, that wasn't you, right? It sounded all distorted.
Sleepy time, gal. Is that a recording or something? Jonas?
Oh, it's
You. Again.
you'll
Give
up
the
struggle to
live to
escape
eventually. This
story.
Me again? What do you mean?
These machines
They won't
help. Other
can't help.
they can't be helped.
Not
If we are unhelped.
Other me? What does that mean?
Another Alex. Infinite
Alex
and endless.
us. But everyone still has to
play. another round.
If
You like.
Was that there before? Alex? Are you alright? Alex? Are you? What is this?
You children will never learn.
Jesus. Alex, are you okay? You used to come here as a... Wait, what is... It's like... God, that looks... Wait, what is this? The foundation's still up, but they left all the furniture. And equipment. Like, why hasn't this been torn down or converted into something else?
It's because of the time loop thing, Jonas. It's not, like, part of the tour or anything.
Oh, okay.
It's like the machine in the cave. Ren would know what it is. That two-way receiver intercom thing. Maybe we try the talk to ourselves thing? Or if somebody's listening on a ham radio or something, I might be able to reach them.
Yeah. Thank God for weirdo basement hobbyists. Let's try it out.
Hello? Hello? Anybody out there? Alex? We missed the last ferry off the island, so...
Do not hurt
Yourself.
with the strain of trying.
There
Is no way out.
Oh, eat me, okay? How about that for your conscience?
That doesn't even make sense, and I'm shocked and appalled. Wait, what? Was all this stuff here a minute ago? Because if it was, there is something seriously wrong with me.
Not now! We're looping again.
Crap. Well, just keep me in the loop. I didn't mean to say that. Wait, we already saw this, I think, in the cave? Or this type of transmitter, at least. Clarissa must have been using this to talk to us, right?
Yeah, it looks... You can feel the hum, right? I think it's working.
Seems like it. You wanna try it out, or...
This stuff, it's like the base is reverting back to when it was functional, or that's not the right word, but...
Yeah, no, I know, it's crazy. This is crazy. It's just... I don't even know, it's just nuts.
Hey, Jonas, or just to anyone listening, we're trapped in the...
It won't be
so easy.
Cross your fingers.
Fart barf. That didn't work.
Yeah, sure didn't. This is whatever, but are you, like, religious at all? I mean, my dad said your mom wasn't, but it doesn't necessarily mean...
No, not at all. My parents weren't, and I'm not either.
Okay, but still, even after tonight, this hasn't shaken anything loose, or...
No. I mean, we say they're ghosts.
Unexplained phenomena?
But when a bird looks in the mirror, she doesn't see her reflection. She sees, like, a bird assassin. And there's a strong possibility we're just as stupid right now.
Huh, alright. Well, my mom was Methodist. My dad kinda didn't care, but tonight's kinda... I guess I'm just realizing a lot of it's rubbed off on me more than I thought. But, I don't know. I was just wondering if you were.
Well, what about it rubbed off on you?
Faith discerns the things of God. I heard that a lot as a kid, and it's been on my mind tonight. Some aspects of it just, help me, I guess, day to day. A little.
Like what aspects?
Just the, that everything... Well, not that everything happens for a reason or whatever, but just that some things are inevitable. I don't know. I'm just babbling now.
I get that. Don't worry about the stuff you can't control.
Yeah, but whatever.
This is, odd to say out loud to you, but do you at all have the feeling that we've done this before? Like come to the island and almost die? I mean, I know we haven't, but...
Yeah, I don't know. I've had, like, goose pimples since we got off the boat, and everything the ghosts have said, and it's almost like I know what you're gonna say before you say it.
I won't test you. Okay, I lied. What am I gonna say right now?
Ugh, God. Nona, I don't know. Ghosts suck.
Actually, I just realized I don't even know what I was gonna say, so maybe I would have.
much
Improved.
Oh. Wow.
Are you keeping us here?
No, the
Island
keeps
us
all zoned.
Alex, what is...
Many times must we say you
Say
you cannot
get out. Talk to radio
as
much
as
you like.
other Alex
Will
not help.
betwixt
We are
Talk to the radio? You mean those transmitter things?
do not blame us.
Blame
us
for
your plunge. Make amends before
the game is settled. It is
your holiday.
in the
And
It's like these guys can't speak in anything but brain teasers.
Hey, they gave us some stuff to chew on. We know, well, we think we know we might be able to talk to like a past version of us or something. Or maybe not.
Yes, the pieces are all falling into place, clearly.
Just, can't you tell us what you need to get out of here? To go home or whatever you call it?
no
use
in
try.
You should be very impressed I did not pass out during that.
Oh, this is kind of... My sister came out a few weeks ago. She was trying to do the Radio Rocks thing or whatever, and she said she thought she heard you on the station. Do you know what that could have been? Or did she just mishear?
Wait, what? Your sister heard me on the radio.
Yeah. She told me you were saying... what was it? It was something like, this is a test of the beach cave emergency system? It was like, hello, is anybody out there? We missed the last ferry off the island. And then you were saying something like, to Jonas or to anyone listening, we're trapped or something? So like, did Carly let you sub on the school radio show or something? Like as a joke?
Clarissa, I still am trying to get off this island. This isn't real. I was using a radio thingy to try and get help.
Okay, Michael warned me about you, that you're always playing, like, games. So, I appreciate the initiation.
It's not a prank. I know you're not gonna believe me, but this might be our way out somehow.
Okay. Anyways, I just saw you and remembered, so...
And now we're sure you remember this part. Maybe not all the little details, but the death of a companion can't...
Why keep doing this, then? Why torture me? Why torture my friends? Try and take us over if you know it's not going to work.
Alex, the rules are a little more complicated than you think, dear. It feels good to break script here, we'll admit. You and us, we've played these parts for a long time, and we will continue to play them. Forever, in a conscription by God. But not all existences are made equal, child. So we will continue to try to wear your forms like opening our own personal escape hatch. And we will continue forever until it works.
And there's no way to break the cycle, to get out of the loop. We're just doomed, that's it?
You are. We are too. The other ones, who's to say? All right, that's enough deviation for one round. Let's get back to it, shall we? You know the deal. You give us Clarissa, and maybe we let you go free. It's up to you. We'll leave the rest of you cattle alone.
Take her, then.
You know, it's not often that we meet someone your age that's as mature as you are, Alex. You really understand things.
I know what I'm doing. Don't patronize me.
We know that you know. As you were, Alex. We've enjoyed engaging with you tonight.
was your best friend, Alex. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. One minute he was there, and then he was just...
It's okay, Nona. You didn't do anything wrong. Nona, come on. We can still crack this. I do not believe... I won't. That he's gone forever. I just won't.
I wish I had your faith and things. Rin confessed that, he asked your advice, and that you said to just be himself. It's a tiny thing, but I hope he knew that I liked him. And I don't know if he did.
He knew, Nona. Don't worry. He knew.
Like I said, it's a tiny thing. But thanks, Alex.
Listen, Jonas, I did something just now that you need to know. I traded Clarissa to the ghosts so they'd let the rest of us go.
No, you didn't. Alex, how could? We had a plan. We had the... I mean, why are we going to the bomb shelter at all if you think that's not even gonna work? That's just a minute ago we thought she was dead. And now...
I don't trust that tuning into the portal or going into the portal or whatever is gonna fix anything, and this just seemed like our only safe option.
How can we even trust them? They're gonna say whatever they want to get what they want. So I just...
We can't trust them. We can't. But maybe if they just get what they want, they won't have a reason to do anything to us.
I just hope you know... I'm not even gonna say what you're doing, because I just hope you know what you've given up here. Really. Hey. Cut and run, okay? Tim. You call him Tim. Yeah, it's not one of my finest.
Uh-oh. This feels different again.
Oh, really? I mean, it's not like we've been here before, so...
Jonas, this is I know we've tried this before, but I think we might be able to change things. Like really change things if we're lucky with the timing.
What do you mean? What timing?
We can send messages through these things to... It'll, let us communicate with another version of us. I saw it happen, the effects, when I got sent back.
Okay. Neat. But what good would that do us, really? It's not like the version of me that can fly is gonna bust through here and save us, so...
There's still some good in trying, I think. I don't know.
Okay, I won't stop you. Say whatever you think will help, I guess.
Alex, this is... Alex. Just don't use your radio for the rest of the night, okay? Just don't use your radio.
Tim. You call him Tim. Yeah, it's not one of my finest.
Well, I hope that worked.
Clarissa!
Did you get lost, or
are you just extraordinarily forgetful?
We had a contract burned into this girl's spinal column, Alex. You shouldn't be here for...
transition.
Leave for the boat before we get distressed.
I can't leave, actually, even if I wanted to at this point. The door's sealed behind us. I'm here for Clarissa.
Then you have truly drowned yourself.
Whatever you think you can do, you can't.
We're not going back.
We won't go back.
Is that it? Is she done? Are they, coming back now or something?
No, I think there's still time left. We can still do something.
Okay, what's the plan? What are we gonna do? Hit me with it. I'm getting my 5th win. We can't let us be too late. Okay, alright, this is something. Hopefully good. But what's happening? Why isn't it connecting or whatever it does? I mean, are you doing it right?
I don't know.
Alex, just whatever happens, just...
So, you tried to send a message to yourself. Well, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news,
Sweetie, but the Alex out there, this hypothetical innocent creature who has yet to meet Jonas or be scared or lost,
even if she hears it, it won't save you. It never does.
I don't know, maybe she'll hear it. Maybe she'll listen, not come here. If I can help her, it's enough. It's worth it. It'll be worth it.
It's not worth it. You simply don't know. You don't think we've tried this?
You think you thought of one particle of an idea that we haven't already clung to?
They didn't know it was you.
Oh, very good.
You know a good
Barter when you see one.
Stay good.
Yeah, I just want to go home.
Believe us when we say we understand completely.
But anyways, all of that is why I need you to tell me, really, what do you think I should do? Go to school here, or take a chance and leave?
Michael, stay here. Please, I don't want you to go.
Hey, look who's finally awake. Maybe don't get up immediately.
Did we, win?
Oh yeah, big time. Wire to wire finish.
I don't know about wire to wire,
Oh,
but...
whatever. Rack to rack, whatever you want to call it.
Anyways, yes, we won. The tuning we did in the cave, it worked. The ghosts are gone. We're going home.
Or at least they've stopped trying to eat our...
We're gonna be okay? Like, all that really happened and it wasn't a dream and we're gonna be okay for realsies?
Yes, all that really happened.
We're gonna be okay.
And I think we're all gonna be okay. Thanks as always to the brother-sister duo, Alex and Michael.
Boo!
Oh, come on.
Just saying.
We totally help sometimes.
Is this a trick? Are the ghosts still playing some weird archaic game called Brother Switcheroo or something?
No, I think the games are over.
Yeah, speaking of that, Jonas, buddy, this has not been the plan for the evening. Really, this was terrible. Sorry about that. I mean, I invited the poor guy. He just moved here with his dad, and...
Yeah, we know. He picked you up in gym class so you could dunk the ball.
Wait, Ren, you brought Jonas? He's your friend?
Yeah, Man, you've really been affected by all this. I invited him because he's new in town, and whatever.
Yeah, and he turned out to be a cool guy, so what's the problem?
Thanks.
I mean, Alex, you're acting like...
No, he's... Yeah, he's cool.
I'm overwhelmed.
I can't believe everything that happened. I feel like we should tell everyone we know. Go on a freaking book tour.
What? No, are you kidding? We don't have evidence of ghosts, but we know there's a continuation, a sort of life after death. This is like the moon landing times a billion.
Except no one will believe it.
Hey, is this your book?
Oh man, we're gonna be the best couple ever.
Okay, slow down.
I lost it on the way. I thought for sure some commuter would have just tossed it overboard.
Hey, that reminds me. What were we were talking about something stupid right before Alex woke up.
Prom?
Prom.
You guys have fun with that.
Are you going, Alex?
Are we supposed to still spike the punch or just bring in flats?
I spent homecoming eating bottomless fries at that fast food emporium, and I'm gonna stick with that plan for this, I think. Before we'd left, I told my mom I was spending the night at a friend's house, and when I got back, I didn't see any reason to change that story. And you know what? I still don't. The island did one good thing, forcing Ren and Nona together. Which is nice, because they're still together, actually, though they go to different schools now. Trying out the long-distance thing, I guess. Clarissa fled to the East Coast, dropped out of college, and works at a boutique. Nobody really talks to her. Not even Michael is on good terms. I can't imagine she'll ever come back. Not if the island's here.
Evidently, there are 12,000 different dialogue options in the game, so even if you watched my playthrough and any other footage I might put in this video, you still haven't seen the whole of Oxenfree by a long shot. It's still very much worth your time giving it a play, even if you've seen my playthrough. End credit photos will include Michael in them instead of Jonas if you resurrect him. The timeline will have dictated that Michael went through the whole night with Alex, and that Ren was with Jonas, who he invited. Canonically, of course, Michael is still dead, and Jonas is still her stepbrother. Is this a trick of time distortion? Is it all in Alex's head? Are the Sunken just messing with her? Alex's guilt over Michael's death is part of the story. She keeps trying to change not only the night the game takes place, but also to keep Michael from dying the previous year. Radios on the base are low frequency and can't dial out. It's subtle, so it means nothing on the first playthrough beyond, oh, that means we can't call out from the island to try to get someone to come help us.
Yeah, no, this is like a low frequency thing. It's just meant for the base. I don't think it can beam out.
On New Game Plus, however, it takes on a new meaning. There are multiple radios that are shown to be able to transmit out from the island. Unfortunately though, no matter what changes, the result is the same. The radios were never actually able to dial out at all. Before we get into my final thoughts, I'd like to mention a couple of other things that I felt were very interesting.
They didn't care.
In the woods, Alex says that Maggie was an old woman, to which the Sunken retort that the old woman was young once. They tell her to sit still, bear fruit.
Maggie Adler, that old woman? What does she have to do with anything?
Old woman was young once. We were
Young. Once.
sit
Still.
bear fruit.
From what I can tell, this seems to be a religious reference, specifically a biblical one. Psalm 92:14 states, "They will still bear fruit in old age. They will stay fresh and green."
What strain? What do you...
It breathes upon a bank of violets. The strain of life, dear. You didn't do so well this time.
It breathes upon a bank of violets is an abridged quote from a Shakespeare play, Twelfth Night. According to SparkNotes.com, the play's opening speech includes one of its most famous lines as the unhappy, lovesick Orsino tells his servants and musicians, "If music be the food of love, play on." In the speech that follows, Orsino asks for the musicians to give him so much musical love food that he will overdose and cease to desire love any longer. Through these words, Shakespeare introduces the image of love as something unwanted, something that comes upon people unexpectedly and that is not easily avoided. But this image is complicated by Orsino's comment about the relationship between romance and imagination. So full of shapes is fancy that it alone is high fantastical, he says, relating the idea of overpowering love, fancy, to that of imagination, that which is fantastical. Through this connection, the play raises the question of whether romantic love has more to do with the reality of the person who is loved or with the lover's own imagination. For Orsino and Olivia, both of whom are willing to switch lovers at a moment's notice, imagination often seems more powerful than reality. Imagination often seems more powerful than reality. That's just subtle enough that you wouldn't notice it in the first playthrough, but it foreshadows the loops beautifully, especially combined with the knot of eternal recurrence.
Neighbor with Smee has to hide. The others search for Smee.
During the Victorian era, people would tell each other scary stories during the holidays so they could all gather around the fire to keep warm and have camaraderie. If the stories got too dark, the party would play games, like hide and seek, to keep the mood light. I don't want to spoil it. It's a short read or a listen, whatever your preference. It won't take up much of your time, and it'll be well worth it.
God gave us memory, the saying goes. But that is all he gave us.
God gave us memory quote is from J.M. Barrie's book, A Window in Thrums. The full quote is, "God gave us memory so that we might have roses in December." J.M. Barrie also wrote the original Peter Pan story, likely due to real-world inspiration for eternal youth. His older brother passed in a tragic ice skating accident when he was only 6 years old. Could the story be referencing this through Alex's relationship with her brother? Alex skips a test to go to Ren's concert to bring him an amp not long after Michael's death.
Oh man, you know what just jumped into my head just completely randomly? That show in the, it was a horse ranch? Or a horse farm, but that makes it sound like they have a little...
Okay, are you still out of it? I shouldn't be paying any attention to this,
No,
right?
this is... I can't believe you don't remember this. A year ago, out in Salem, we took over a stable and our band played, and you ditched that test again, right? To bring us a new amp? Because during the sound check, we blew ours. None of the...
Sure. If I squint, I can kind of remember. What about it?
Nothing. I don't know. But I can't believe you didn't tell Jonas this story yet. She had already blown off this, like, super important for school placement aptitude test once, and...
Why'd you do that?
I think she was indisposed?
Michael had just died like a month or two before, and I don't know, I just wasn't in the quizzing mood.
But you know, it's whatever, that's not part of the story. Anyways, she was gonna retake it, and on the day of, I had to emergency call her way out in the, just picture like Little House on the Prairie.
I don't know what that is.
It's a, really? You don't know what Little House on the Prairie is?
Wait, you blew off an important test to get him an amp? Really? That was a thing you did?
Yeah, I mean, he needed his amp. And it was just a stupid test, so who cares?
And the funny part is, I'd taken that same test after dosing a bunch of cough medicine, and I still aced it, so she would have blown it out of the water. And even knowing that, she still came out to...
Of course he did. One of these days, Nate's dad is gonna start keeping a tally of his medicine cabinet.
And I will rue that day, let me tell you.
Yeah, I mean, even if you think the test was stupid, I don't know. Can't help but feel that you maybe should have probably still done it.
Really? Even if at the time she didn't care? How come?
You're saying this? The guy who doesn't like school thinks I should have skipped my friend's concert to take an exam?
Listen, it's just, like, if I was good at what you guys are good at, which is being smart, I wouldn't waste one of my few remaining test days on a show in a barn. No offense.
Hey, none taken.
I'm not that smart, Jonas. There's nothing really to waste here.
If you say so.
Saw the man, not the dog. What the crap does that mean?
A guy who can't see dogs?
Did you see the first half?
See a man about a dog? Yeah, I don't get it either.
See a man about a dog is typically a euphemistic way of apologizing for one's absence, a manner of speech that disguises one's true purpose, needing to go to the toilet, for example. This could be the ghost's, or perhaps Anna's, way of saying that they are sorry for their absence, not wanting to reveal their actual location. Or it could simply be someone stating that they are leaving, and that they cannot reveal where they're going. But then there is also saw the man but not the dog. This could be in regards to the sequel, which I'll get more into in the Oxenfree 2 video, but it could also mean that the man was seen but not the man's location. I also saw on English.stackexchange.com that in Britain the phrase see a man about a dog could simply mean mind your own business. So that could be all it means. They just don't want her to pry. I couldn't find a concrete answer on this in any of my research, so just pick the one you like best, I think.
Blood in the ground makes the planet shine.
Come out.
Come out whenever you are.
In an interview with IGN in 2021, Sean Crankle of Night School Studios discussed the then recent update to the game. It contained radio stations playing dialogue from the villains of the upcoming sequel. He stated, "Introducing the antagonists in an interesting way, instead of having a trailer just focused on them. Why not let you hear them doing their dirty work in the first game? Which is ingenious, and I really look forward to covering Oxenfree 2 in the next video." There was a collector's edition available through pre-order to the US and UK only. It was released in February 2016 and came with some really cool stuff. An Oxenfree cooler, game download code, stash can, beer for 21 and up, soda for below 21. This was apparently age verified. A koozie featuring Seafood Sammy's, round-trip ferry ticket to Edwards Island, physical Redheaded Bedwetter's demo cassette tape, and a download code for the demo. The tracks are Baby Carrots, Epiphany Fields, and Tohi Grove, a fold-out tourist map of Edwards Island that has artwork from the game on the back. There was also a limited run physical copy on PS4, which I saw on eBay starting at $55 and going all the way up to $149.99. The Switch version was on Amazon for a whopping $224.99. The creators had a bit of fun with some really dedicated fans, especially those in Washington State, devising a real-world ARG, or alternate reality game. Some of this stuff is in Morse code, which is way over my head, and it also involved Twitter and voicemails. I will leave the link to Up Late's video on the ARG so you can have a better idea of what the game entailed from someone who was actually present and was recording for it. I also have some questions that still remain after several playthroughs, questions that I can't really get out of my head. They just kind of live rent-free there. On the ferry, there's a recording that says there are complimentary radios on board. So why does no one except for Alex grab a radio?
Wait, who's talking right now?
It's a recording. They always play. Oh, we should get a quick picture. All of us. This will be like the before shot.
I mean, you would think Ren would grab one, since he's really excited for the quote-unquote weirdo caves. How did other kids know where to check the frequencies? Could there have been other victims besides Alex and her friends and the crew of the Kanaloa? Could or would Maggie or Anna have ever told anybody about it? Who put the rocks at the entrance of the cave and why? Could there have been other victims if Maggie had kept the Sunken grounded? The Sunken said that they were grounded by Margaret Adler. Does that have anything to do with electricity? With not being allowed to play? Grounded ships? It's just so cool to think of all the wordplay possibilities. Why were the Sunken so easily able to take Clarissa over the rest of the teens? I would say it's her grief over Michael, but Alex is also grieving over him, and she has more agency than Clarissa does. Is it Clarissa's anger at Alex that makes her more susceptible? What was Nona talking about when she said, "You're not going to ask about my grandfather"? We never get any resolution to that. It's kind of a throwaway thing, and I don't like it. I wish Nona's character was a little bit more fleshed out, if only to know more about what she had gone through during the events of the game.
So just look, you're not going to talk about my grandfather. You're just going to stand there politely and tell me if you've seen Clarissa.
I realize that she and Alex aren't close, so maybe they limited her character a lot because of that, but I still would have liked to have seen a bit more of Nona. At one point, Jonas, who has never been to Edwards Island, tells Nona how to get to the comm tower.
Comm tower is where?
It's the cloudbuster at the edge of town. Can't miss it.
Is she from a different town than Kamina? I feel like if she's from Kamina, she might at least be able to identify the Dick Tower if she had come there before. There were probably boys at school that at least referenced the tower. I'm sure if she was a local, someone would have mentioned the island at some point and the fact that there was a Dick Tower on it. But okay. Triangle symbology has historically meant a lot of things to humanity, such as balance and harmony. Could the gate being triangular have been a deliberate reversal of this since it sowed so much havoc over the island? Or could it be related to Pythagoras, who also had so much to do with eternal recurrence and, obviously, triangles? I've been working on this video since August, and I'm sure that there are still things in this game that I've yet to find. I've also recently been playing it on mobile for the first time, and it's an entirely new experience. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's definitely worth going into some more. I'm still not even tired of it after all these playthroughs that I've done. So. My favorite and perhaps best timeline / ending option is the one in which Alex, Ren, and Jonas are outside of Funny's family market, and Alex hears herself on the radio. She is warning herself not to come to the island. That closes the loop, and the teens head to Ren's house to hang out for the night.
Well, alright. I guess that means...
Alex, this is Alex. Just don't use your radio for the rest of the night, okay? Just don't use your radio.
Wow! That is some hardcore craziness. Alex, I don't even know how you convinced Carly to let you record some spooky-ass message for tonight, but good friggin' job. That was amazing. Seriously, Jonas, do you know who you have as a new sister?
Ren, what are you talking about? I have no idea what that was. I never said that. I don't even know Carly.
Wait, you're honestly telling me that you don't have anything to... Oh my god, I don't even know why I'm playing into this.
Why does it matter if you use your radio?
It's because of tonight. It was the whole thing of it. Look, Alex, you didn't have to go through all this trouble if you just wanted to sit in my den and watch that Swedish cartoon about the donkey carpenter for the 800th time instead. You know, you could have just said, Ren, let's not spend the night on a forbidden beach filled with wonder and mystery.
Ren, I really didn't do this. Really. I'm as confused as you are.
No, it's fine. Honestly, we're probably too late to catch the last boat anyway. And, well, to be honest, I don't even think anybody else was gonna go, so, you know, we probably spared ourselves a lame night, truthfully. Thanks for nothing, Allie. You older sister witch. Jonas, there's a pizza place across the street from my house that's like the best. New York, Chicago, they can all go and play with their butts for all I care because nobody can touch Alfredo's, swear to God.
All right, cool, sounds good.
And you guys just met tonight, right?
Yeah, I'd been out of school and, you know, the timing just hadn't worked out.
And what are you to him, Alex?
Oxenfree is a game all about time, being out of time, looping in time, being the victim of time, trying to control time, being controlled by time. It's a game that challenges players to try and change their fate. The game is also a study in futility. No matter what choices the player makes, there's always going to be the same result, because canonically, the teenagers never make it off of Edward's Island that night. Time is still looping. The game isn't challenging in terms of gameplay. It challenges the player to develop different relationships, try different outcomes, see what else might happen. There are several outcomes, each one enjoyable to see play out. Again, the art style is just gorgeous. The music is so atmospheric, so it's all just so satisfying. It's really just a feast for the senses. The voice acting is incredible. Everybody really pulled out the stops with this one. I played it when it first came out on PS4 back in 2016. And I remember just being lost in the visuals and the music and kind of feeling like I was a teenager again, even though it had been a long time since I had been a teenager, or at least it felt that way. I have to admit to being utterly bewildered by the happenings in Oxenfree at first. I played the game several times over, and really there were a lot more things that I played, you know, in current day that I realized more deeply about the story of it. But anyway, I'm glad that you could join me today. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for being here with me today. I really hope that you enjoyed this review of Oxenfree. Hopefully before you saw any spoilers, maybe you went to go check it out yourself. Maybe you still decided to in case there was something that I missed. So I am working on the video for Oxenfree 2 Lost Signals. That will be coming, I'm not sure exactly when, but yeah, hopefully it'll take me a lot less time than this one did. So thank you so much for being here. If you liked it, please consider liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Whatever. I'm sure it'll be fun. It's something to do, right?